that.
What are you even saying right now? I was having a great time.
No, trust me, I've been just letting Sharif cook off over here.
Yeah?
And I've just been banking these OT minutes for the boys over here. So don't forget. We're gonna run it. We're gonna run it for another 10 seconds anyway. So we got 4 minutes of overtime here. I mean, there we go. They're not happy about it. But hey, players got to play, man. Shooters got to shoot. I stayed in the game throughout the whole session. So yeah, let's see what we got going on. 4 big minutes of OT for your.
There it is, guys. All right, guys. The big kahunas are on this side. I'll see everybody at the green screen quick as you like. Remember, Google I/O event happening. Adair at the big desk. We'll be bringing you all the news. See ya.
There you go.
Well, first of all, there is no overtime. And we don't want to talk about overtime, okay? Well,
these guys.
OT is a bit of a sore subject because the hockey season's over for the Maple Leafs. So let's not talk about that.
Right.
I wish we'd put the dots together on like Warby Parker. Where's the fun? Where's the fun in having an announcement like that when they've had the stock halted for an hour pending news, and then it turns out no, it's actually. It's probably smart because you want to have news. If you know major news is being dropped in the middle of that conference, good. It's kind of good on them to not have people get stop rinsed and all that nonsense. But that is a news pendant-based halt, and then the news has been disseminated in here. Good rebound for the market. Alphabet, of course, still happening.
Still happening.
It's still on right now.
I stopped watching.
Well, I turned it off myself because we're coming back on. But let's go to Adair. Apparently, there's some more updates.
Thing here beyond the Warby Parker partnership, which we will get to, Google in general just saying they're really trying to take on Meta more or less here with these smart eyeglasses. So WRBY, of course, involved in this Google deal. Google's committing up to $150 million in Warby Parker. Given that they have a market cap of over $1 billion, it's not super significant, but what is significant is the fact that Google is going to be doing an equity investment into Warby Parker. So not only are they going to be committing up to $150 million. They're also going to be investing in the company itself. It's going to be as part of a long-term commitment to their partnership. WRBY was not the only eyeglass-related ticker that moved on this, though. LUCY, Lucy, is, as we call it here, innovative eyewear, also, as the name suggests, in the glasses space. LUCY also moved here as Google's announcing these eyewear partnerships. So it looks like, of course, Warby Parker is the ticker directly connected to the news, but it's not the only eyeglass-related name on the move here, guys. Back to you.
All right.
I really didn't know Lucy was an eyewear company.
I don't know if eyewear is covered by any UNH plans or anything, but this right here is $10 now in the money, and we're still holding a little piece of it. So our last piece out right there is the 200 period moving average. We're just letting this thing continue to fly upside right there. So a $10 winner off of our posted, well, it's $9, off of our posted sticky note level of 15 with a stop at 13. So we talked about giving that about $2 worth of room now to make 10. So that's going to be pretty good, although we are almost out of it all. And then we dip bought, I mean, when Google fell, so I actually only traded Google pretty small here, and we went long. First time seeing if it was going to break 164.50, it did. Then we went long again, thinking it was going to break 164, and it did. And then that was just an overfill, and then we had to punch out. So in and out of Google, not good. Lost money on that. Now it's starting to head back up to the upside. But with your boy Elon Musk, so right now we have I have $17 in total wins on board right now, and it's because we still have a decent piece also of Tesla right now. So we are doing really well. Like, sure, we're swimming in this spot, but we had orders out. So as we came back up into these levels, that's an out that I took at 350 right there, just because we were waiting there. And then all of these outs, we were very, very patient with it. We got one out breaking through, but here we go, man. We are long Tesla 344. Right now, and it's real and it's great. So we're loving this one. $9 in the money on UNH, $8 in change, as I guess he's on CNBC right now. So let's go, man. Here we go. We are now $9 in the money, $10 going higher. We waited. This is what we're waiting for. So my only offer right now is at 54. So let's see if we can get back up to the high of the day now on Tesla. Neil, it's $9. $9 on Tesla, $9 on UNH, and my newest position right here is trying to go. I'm going to offer a little bit out right here at 82, but wow, what a day it's been now. Glad to have you guys back, man. The trading is back. Tesla, triple Qs, you've got QBTS, as here we go again. QBTS is a great trade.
Well, lunchtime was busy on Tesla because realistically, like Tesla is still holding the wedge.
Yes,
it's still holding the wedge. I played it most of lunch except for on it's weird because I went over to Google and I should have stayed with Tesla. I'm flat on Alphabet, slightly up, trying to catch that bottom. But Tesla, remember we left you before 11 o'clock, flat top into a rising wedge. Well, it held this the entire time. We were in 44s out at VWAP. We were in 46 out at VWAP. We're in VWAP out at 50. I was going to take it again. I got in too early, but look at it continue. It's held this since the bottom. And that's sort of the thing. Like once you establish that this trend line happened, like get busy. Like at least try it a couple of times in there. QBTS is still going as well.
Apparently there's news like Uber. Like,
I can't,
no, he's talking robo-taxi.
Is this
so Uber right now is absolutely tanking from 93 down to 91, completely tanking right now.
Boy.
But we don't give a shh. Because right there, now we are $10 in the money right now on Tesla. So there's our 350, Phil. There it is, man. This is what trading's all about. Let's go. We're getting excited today. This is our trade from the open. We've wanted this. So here we go, finally. You guys remember, shout out to Jay Lee, pro day trader, everybody there in the chat. Shout out to everybody that was here. Let's go, Katina, man. Thank you, Eski, for profit. Everybody that's here. You guys know that I was getting a little frustrated with this thing in the morning because it wasn't going all of these outs right there. Then out. Nice move to the upside right now again. But Sharif wants to talk to us about Uber.
Here it is, guys. If we just show the screen live on CNBC, Tesla CEO Elon Musk sticks to the launch time by the end of June for the robo-taxi launch in Austin. Says he's testing thousands of autonomous cars ahead of the launch, and basically he's looking at working with many different companies, guys. So Uber obviously included in that. We'll have to see which other ones he mentions. That just came in now live on CNBC.
Maybe watch out for Lyft, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I would suspect Lyft probably has a move. Uber took it not on the chin because it's been up so much. Put the move into perspective. It's wicked the high that it just recently made and is holding on to. A great portion of yesterday. Like Alphabet, and we'll go to Alphabet quickly just to give you an idea. Like Google, which could have held on to the long, I got out 65. But the Google pulled back and gave you all the way to yesterday's open. Whereas Uber's not doing anything like that. Let's just quickly double check Lyft because you mentioned it. Slight move down on Lyft. Lyft kind of looks like a nothing burger to me there. That's not really very exciting. Lyft down 2.5 points. Kind of held the lows. I think you're looking at Uber, obviously, and Tesla. Oh, goodness. And very quickly, IBIT's starting to get away. I got out of IBIT at yesterday's high, and it's still going. And it just broke out again. We just got 106. So remember, 107 and 109 are like two separate highs. 109 is the high from that weekend. It's like 107 is sort of like the stock market intraday high on IBIT, which is now only $600 away. So I think we have a chance. Maybe we'll get another dip to be able to get back in it. Like IBIT, we're busy at lunch taking VWAP and then a supply zone as well. And that's sort of the thing. You've been able to stair step up on so many stocks. Like it's been pretty clean today if you've been patient and sort of waited for some of the curls to the upside. I find that's worked so much better than trying to catch the falling knives. Only thing I'm in was a continuation on QBTS and didn't really get the bigger dip into the volume weighted average price. So we're in here this time at 17. We'll see if that can bust a high as well. But like put 3 spots in here. Each time it gave you a dip. I missed one of them on QBTS. Hopefully it's not the last. Market not really doing much off VWAP, but yeah, good story there for IBIT. Just remember that 107 does matter even though it's not an all-time high.
Yeah, I mean, we're $3,000 in the money on this trade as well. We talked about buying this yesterday. We woke up yesterday, or was it yesterday? What day is today? Maybe it was Monday, and got that fill at 103. On Bitcoin, so 103.01, good trade there. And yeah, what's up, Eduardo and everybody? I mean, UNH is at 325. Was debating just tapping this one out, maybe on a 50-period break, maybe even on a 200 period, as we're not rolling with so many shares. This has been a great dip buy opportunity today for me in the TQs. Again, we took advantage of that. We really love trading futures. We actually took it off VWAP there. It did dip down. I was sort of using some of these levels as my out. So we were pretty close to getting stopped out there, but we're taking advantage of this play big time right now. It's actually funny. I'm making more money on this play right right here than I am on the UNH play in total. Again, this is what we talk about. Know the names you're trading and just trade them hard and trade them well. There's absolutely nothing else. That's what it is. UNH is a brand new name, so I'm here to show you, like, definitely, I mean, this was the #1 trade idea today on the sticky note. So we have that, it's great, but not as many shares as we're doing right here. Even this small 25-cent win here on the TQs puts this thing close. P&L 1 will be Tesla, but this is close to a P&L 2 just because of share size.
That's way far. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So which stock now? Oh, Parker Warby. Yeah. All right. So we'll wait for all of that. But yeah, what an event by Google. You can see what the market's doing. It's going to be on our list here very soon. A nice little drop down in there for Google into 164, but now battling back into 165.50. So all right, Sharif, it's time. Let's go through the rundown.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are ready to go. They're locked and they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there is to join Joseph and I on the Midday Show and get into that chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. But only the top few make it on. And you got to be a subscriber in order to vote and engage with us in the chat. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Here's a look at the triple Qs, guys. We're off the highs, still a little negative on the day, but looking at, possibly moving up. So we'll keep an eye on the 4 major averages today. A couple red, a couple green. Here's the first taker as decided by you guys. Google, 0.62% in the negative at the moment, but the Google I.O. event is on, so anything can happen. We already got several different announcements from Sundar and company. This one here says that they have about 400 million active users for Gemini, and they're also going to release their first AI video communications platform called Google Beam, guys. Just one of many stories released at the Google I.O. event.
Yeah, beam it back up, Alphabet, because it was a nasty drop. I think it lost VWAP, so it's whoa. There we go. It's psychedelic apparently over there on Alphabet. There, I don't know if that's what you guys are seeing, but I guess it is. But it was a psychedelic drop through the volume-weighted average price. I took 2 shots at it, and it wasn't even good exit points on the second one. Let me green, but mostly because it gave me that straight shot into 165. I tried it off of here, like this is going into yesterday. Essentially, the first shot tried it at 164 because it was at support level, and then when it bounced, that failed. And then when it bounced off the low, got it back up through on an initial bounce, back in through this prior low at 163.5. It threatened underneath, so I actually took some out for a small loss in the second long, and then it popped in there, allowing me to go back green on it. At this point, I'll probably stay away till it's done, which I don't have no idea if it's done right now. But now I'm going to get out of this. We're going to get away from it until they're done, and then we'll see what Google does from there. The crazier move, of course, is Warby Parker, which opened up and went 10% instantaneously. It's starting to give it back in here. I don't know any details specifically on whatever equity partnership or investment Google's going to be doing, but Warby Parker going absolutely ham, just up and down 10% easy.
It's too much winning. There's just so much winning right now in the stock market, including Tesla. We just got 355 right there. So the high of the day, we wait, we're patient for it. So that is, man. All right, so maybe we should get out of some UNH. All right, but there it is. So we still have a little piece left of Google. That's actually a decent piece left. So sorry, of Tesla, nothing of Google. Look, man, I mean, I wasn't that, I was watching it. I wasn't that impressed with anything. I'm still a good Google shareholder. I mean, I like the stock, but I don't like it as much as I used to, and I don't like it after today as well. Losing the market, lower than the market right there. They weren't showing me anything sexy or anything, and I turned it off, quite frankly. My wife turned it off. There was nothing overly exciting about the release. We'll wait to hear about these glasses. I mean, to me, they're just showing you things that you already expect to have happen. Like, look at that. That's a light post, correct? You know, like there's things like that we already know happened. And then a lot of it's going to be subscription-based. So I think that's going to be really nice for them. Like, so as they test out Gemini, they're talking about how it's outperforming all these token stuff that I have no idea about. But apparently it's operating really well. Google's really happy with it. And the market seems to be blasé about it right now. So hopefully it can make some moves upside. But for right now, yeah, nothing super exciting. And I don't want to say there's nothing. I am not I watched it for like 20, 25 minutes, and I was like, nah. So yeah, nothing for me there, but the stock is looking like it wants to get lower. Until we break above VWAP, that's a short. It's just like yesterday's prices of 166. We were shorting the you-know-what out of 166 yesterday. You guys saw that. So the same kind of thing today. You could wait for 166 again. If that comes through, that would, to me, signal some sort of a top, and then you give it to VWAP 166.20 or so. But yeah, man, we got much bigger fish to fry. So let's just go over and talk Palantir, BTC, and all that.
None of this is, Apple's not on the list, but Apple's breaking low of the day right now.
Yeah, the whole market's giving back.
Yeah, like the market's starting to give it back, but I mean, I'm only bringing up Apple because there's literally, like, what is at the low of the day that I'm looking, nothing is at the low of the day that I'm looking at with the exception of Apple. I'm not particularly sure, like, obviously, Google going into the glasses space.
Tesla's trying to.
I don't think any of that should weigh too much on Apple, but maybe that's something to do with it. But heavy volume candle through low of the day. Apple taking it on the chin. There's a lot of strength in this market, but remember the Nasdaq's actually down 0.5%. Let's get to.
We have back-to-back days trying to get short too on Apple. So we know what we understand that.
Oh wait a minute, did that work? I was trying to hit the fail thing because pretty much, I think I traded every.
Oh no, it's down.
I traded every single thing to plan today, with the exception of Apple short. Actually, I think every single thing I took a shot at, with the exception of Apple.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
They're up.
Yeah, they stink. Well, I shouldn't say they stink. They stink today. Apple.
All right, Elon Musk right now on CNBC with David Faber giving a live interview saying that there's going to be hundreds of thousands of robo-taxis on the road by the end of next year. Statement from Elon Musk just moments ago with David Faber right now. Keep your eye out on Tesla for some movements as he's giving this interview live. Here's a look at Palantir, essentially 0.06% in the green. When I looked at it last, it was in the negative, so essentially flat on the day. They have this great headline today with Divergent Technologies looking to partner with them to provide access to advanced manufacturing capabilities vis-a-vis their platform overlapping with Divergent, guys. Not a bad look for Palantir.
So we know, thanks, Sharif. Yeah, look, we're all over this Tesla. I took another piece at 354. $10 in the money when he's talking. Generally speaking, when they'll stop speaking, then the market it'll come back in because the news is then in, and you got to watch to see it trade. We are out. Many more outs of the TQs as we're looking to break a little bit lower. Watch out for a 50 break. That's incoming very soon. My stop on this is near right here, this 50 break. So as the market breaks lower, we're going to get stopped out of this, which is completely fine. Like I said, we're actually wind up making more money on this trade than we did on UNH, which is a $10 winner. So that's either bad share sizing for that or good share sizing for something that we trade often and we believe in. So that's all good. I might take, there it is. It's done. I'm going to take an offer here at 353 if we can get it one more time because, he's still talking, which is okay. Yeah, it was more this that was breaking here. The TQs. Look what happens when it breaks. Look at that short.
The budget bit.
Right there. So you want to talk about like getting out of something just in time.
There's some stuff on the budget battle.
I mean, that's what that is. I don't hear anything in my ear about it.
Neither do I, but CNN's saying stuff about the budget.
All right, we'll wait. So there might be something there with President Trump. I do have it in my ear now. But okay, so I don't hear anything, but hopefully it will come through for us. So if we get
the market's really dropping now.
Yeah, well, we just got stopped out. And by the way, getting stopped out, I'll slap a fail on the TQ trade, but if you don't, I won't. Because, like I said, the amount of money that we made is not a fail at all. But if you don't have a stop, there's many traders out there that they don't trade with stops. That's cool, okay? But then you don't trade real share size if you don't trade with stops. And it's not only saying that because this will wipe out your whole day if you don't get stopped out. You could say, well, my stop out's down here, but then you still have a stop at least. So there's one thing, maybe my stop is too tight. But, when you're taking wins like that, you got to sort of have also tighter stops. We'll see what happens here with Tesla. We just got a piece out at 54 again. We're waiting for 53s. If we can get that, we'll take it one more time. But, hey, look, Palantir, we talked about it earlier. It made my list here at 126 long, and that's right where it's at now. So I'm debating thinking about it. We only spent a little bit of time underneath it, but it was pretty violent, right? All the way down into 125. So there's the break of 126. So we went long. We got out of a little bit, and then in the same candle that we were taking all this profit right here at 126.70, I blinked and we got stopped out at 126 break. So that was 70 cents in less than 1 minute. straight to the downside. So I don't know like what was going on there at 9:47, but that bled all the way down. That created our new low of the day. And, you know, we haven't been back there. Low, low, low. We keep making higher lows. So I like Palantir, but again, it's going to have to get into 125 and change. And we're just going to have to wait to see what happens now with the futures. It looks like it just got rinsed out a little bit. We'll see if we can get some Tesla. I'm going to take a piece right here at 29. So there we go. We offer that. I'm going to cancel my 53s and maybe wait for a 54 and see if we get back going to the upside right now. So Tesla is still a nice little win, but we're getting more and more out. I only have like a little bit more, about 10% left, to be honest with you, now that we're getting out. So
before, I actually have a note on LMT, not Palantir, but a couple of things. One, I might stop under the 17 and QBTS. I want this to do like trend down into VWAP or trend down into here somewhere, like a trend down, clear trend break, because that's what's actually worked better twice instead of the consolidation long. So that'll be the next look. Shout out to Chris L. You shorted McDonald's today and got McDonald's for lunch. Is this legal? Absolutely. You know, just because you use it doesn't mean you have to like the stock, and vice versa. I don't use Apple and I own the stock, although today it doesn't look that good. And Skull, I made a gamer reference about, trading with stock. If you trade without stops, you can take a bunch of headshots. In gaming, avoid the headshots. Now, I'm not really much of a gamer, but I do know that the headshot is that's the big one.
That's a killer, apparently.
It's a killer, well, allegedly. I mean, unless you're trying to think of a movie example. I should know a movie reference where someone survived it, but it doesn't really matter. And with stop orders, you protect yourself from that. And it allows you to sometimes do two things at once. So, we always talk about that being important. The note I'll make on defense is one of the stocks wait a minute. I thought I had it up on my e-signal, but I guess I was looking at it here. I'll just pull up Lockheed. This is what is interesting to me on Lockheed. It's finally, I've been talking about like this is finally trying to make a bottom. Well, I think the bottoming pattern is in, and look for this to break out and kind of like it needs to open above 480, or sorry, close above 480. See the resistance? Every time it breaks it, it just wicks. A close above 480, and I think Lockheed Martin has made its turn. And then look for a play at least back to the 200 period moving average and maybe a little bit higher. So that's the defense theme I was watching. Let's go talk some Bitcoin, which whatever just happened to the market is the reason we didn't test that intraday all-time high. That's a thing.
Bitcoin, technically, from a technical perspective, set to be close to making that golden cross. That is when the 200 moving average crosses, or the 50 moving average crosses above that 200. So be on the lookout for that. Today, Standard Chartered coming out with their new Bitcoin prediction. Boys, $500,000 by 2028. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'd be happy.
That seems a little long. I think it's going to happen before then.
$500,000 before 2028. I'd be very happy.
Yeah, I mean, so let's go and talk about what we've been doing lately, man. I mean, I bought at 80,000. I bought again at 103 right here. I just bought the other day. So, I mean, you guys know I'm going to be this Bitcoin bull. I mean, I'm buying at these levels. That's what I think about it. So, yeah, buying up here may not seem smart, but you go all the way back here into May, and that's sort of where we were at the beginning of the month. And let's see where we are at the end. We're trying to hold out for some of these highs. And again, it's going to be, like I'm a bull about the market in general. I'm long only, but at the end of the day, this is something that I really like. So I bought, woke up one morning, filled at 103, filled at XRP 230, just getting some more names, same names, but more shares, I guess, more of a piece of the pie of Bitcoin. So yeah, man, I really like it. It looks like we are getting ready to break higher, 107 and change. And then if you go over, as Neil was just mentioning there, we go over to a daily chart, which is right here. You could see it's this level, 109.8, I mean, depending where you're looking, 109.4, anything like that. I mean, obviously, I think it's incoming, and by the end of this week is no problem, maybe even by today. So we'll have to wait to see on that breaking out. That's why I bought more. So, we're a couple percentage points in the money on our last reload. But yeah, man, I really, really enjoy BTC longs.
I'm a 5%er, but it's more than 5% of the portfolio now. And it's, buying the dips on Bitcoin is great. And I've tried to keep it really, really simple because we know about this breakout. And when it dipped in, there was only two places I liked it. I liked it off this support, and I liked it off that support. So there's only two places I bought, but I don't sell this, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I just buy and hold. Whether we get a break or not, the timing of it, if you're buy and hold, I kind of don't care. So I would love to see it happen that fast, but it probably won't matter 1 iota to me whether it happens in 2 years or 5 years. It's all the same because I'm not really selling it. What's happening right now, though, is she was like, what? No, the Nasdaq's retesting the low of the day is what's happening right now. So here's let me just zoom it in so you can see. Here's the low, 21.35. If we can bounce off this, or at least calm the you-know-what down off of these bottoms, then I wanted to look to buy back into Bitcoin. The prior high is right here at, IBIT, at 60, essentially 60-20, 60 in the teens, let's call it. So if we can calm down a little bit, look for some kind of a consolidative bottom or a bottoming tail candle, then I jump back in. Otherwise, I'm waiting all the way to VWAP if we don't hold this level here on IBIT. So that'd be the play right now, but the market is seemingly like still turning as we go. So yeah, whatever just happened here is continuing to flush the markets. I heard some people say about it's Japan selling. Thank you, Sebastian, in the chat. Putting some serious pressure on the market. The Nasdaq just broke the low, as a matter of fact. So we're going to have to be really patient looking for any bottoms all of a sudden, including in the strong name, Tesla.
Yeah, Neil, there's been a lot of talk about that, about Japanese bondholders selling their American bonds to buy local Japanese bonds as a result of the yield going higher there. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Good call out by you. Here's a look at Tesla up 2 1/5. And the Elon interview on CNBC is now done. He's off the air with David Faber. So now it is, let's see what how the market reacts. Let's look at some of the headlines that he made there. CEO Elon Musk says he expects to have hundreds of thousands of self-driving Teslas by the end of the year. Looks forward to expanding self-driving to San Francisco and LA after launching in Texas, and looking for similar services to Uber and Airbnb, which was kind of the next topic there. Elon Musk says he's in talks with major automakers to license FSD. That could be a great source of revenue for Tesla, aside from the robo-taxis that they're looking at deploying. Also says that he's looking to geo-fence the autonomous cars to ensure, at least in the beginning, that they drive in safe areas, something that we've seen Waymo do with Google, guys.
Over there. Look, I mean,
wow, Tesla. So, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Tesla, obviously the banger of the day. I mean, we had this 350 break. It was great. We got up to 354, 355. Like, all of these outs were just absolutely huge. And then the problem is we averaged it back in right there at 348. Right, and so that gave us, like, we were in initially there at 348, then we were in again. Sorry, we took the break, then we averaged it back, then it just ripped. Like, so this was actually like a 5, 6, 7, get it, Adara, 5, 6, 7 or so dollar move to the upside, and then it just completely collapsed. And we do have an out right here once it broke 347. So there was one out, so we had lost on the name. We were still positive, but we had definitely given it some back as we had averaged it back in and then wound up getting out. And then I was just like, you know what, man? I like the stock today. I thought it was trading okay, but then it wasn't really going. And I was just like, please do not, break this low of 342. It was yesterday's high. And that just gave us that bottom. And I said I trade much more confidently when we have an idea of where the out is, right? Like, what's happening now, letting this thing fall back in, I'm just taking like pieces out to the point right now where I have 7% left. We had about 13 or 14%, and then we got all these out, so we're getting pieces out now. But it just let it go, right? We are getting a whole bunch out at 347 because that looked like the top. Then we got a VWAP, then we got a 350, then we came back and sat back down and got 48s, and then anyways, as he goes on air, you explode back to the high of the day. Look, I really like Tesla. I mean, from what I'm hearing, and I don't know, we're just reading things off. Now he's off with whoever he was on with there on was it David Faber? Okay, on CNBC. So at the end of the day, it's now going to look like it wants to break VWAP. So we're still in it, but we've given up now $6 from the top. So that's not very good. But hey, Tesla, huge move higher. You can't have big winners unless you hold on to them. So that's what we're doing. And the winner's already in the pocket. We're just holding on to one last little piece here. But Tesla, great trade today. Probably great for a very long time. It's been on my radar pretty much every single day this year. And no reason for it to stop being there. So we love that stock.
The only misstep on Tesla, I think, was trying it at VWAP. But the other thing is you can also just get in multiple times on the trend, which, by the way, it's also broken that long trend. Like, it held this trend effectively the entire day because this low here is before 10 o'clock. So it held that trend line. I'm not going to jump back into it just yet. I think it's still relatively strong because it's holding VWAP, but I can probably throw this trend line out, although I hate doing that until I see it retest that top. There was the support of the wedge at 347. That's where I'm looking now. It was that initial dip buy that held 347, and then that was resistance, resistance, support. So if we lose this battle with the volume-weighted average price, I think it could still be okay to 347. The market did not break the lows there on Tesla. And, oh, remember, we still have this 360 to 365 zone to get through. Once you're through that, you get a much bigger gap on Tesla on the higher time frame chart. Always got to keep the bigger picture in mind. That's a sexy looking bull flag or whatever you want to call it. It looks real good on that chart there for consolidation breakout on Tesla. And remember, there's a lot of people that were probably shorting that 200 period moving average. And to the extent that any of them are not smart enough to be out, hate to be them. There was that trend down, so I got out at 17 on QBTS. It then did a few successive red candles. There's kind of a bottoming tail candle, and then it broke back out here. Can't seem to break this 17 even. So I threw my stop underneath the wick bottom, but now that it's gone to first resistance, I move that to the current. It's now the prior bar because, well, heck, another 3 minutes printed. But now underneath that current bar candle or the prior bar candle here would be the stop move on QBTS. Let's go talk some NVIDIA, which wasn't quite as crazy a name as you would usually think. Usually it's more of an active name for us.
You're absolutely right, Neil. Not kind of a subdued day for NVIDIA today, down 1 1/3, a little bit more than that. There was no major headline today from NVIDIA, but there was plenty yesterday with Jensen Huang being in Taipei, Taiwan for the Computex event yesterday. Unveiled AI tools for humanoid robots. They launched their quantum AI supercomputer to drive the next era of tech. Many other announcements yesterday, guys. All of it being absorbed by the market. Obviously, down 1 1/3.
NVIDIA, it never really got going for me. I took a few shots at it. One of them was a keystroke error, which was the best trade. I got in early on a keystroke. Immediately, we always talk about, if you don't mean to get in, then immediately get out. Well, sometimes that doesn't work for you because clearly when it held that low and then kind of broke a bit of a trend line there, I got in before it broke the trend line. I'm like, ooh, I shouldn't be in this thing yet. And I flatted it only to have it instantly go. I then had a good trade off the volume-weighted average price for scalp, but reloaded it and then tried it again. And did not give it enough room off that view up. So this is the reason why we run NVIDIA. Oddly enough, I mean, although a fraction of my best stock, it's like my only real red stock today was NVIDIA. And really, this should have been a good trade. But it wasn't tight to the volume-weighted average price, and it kind of felt like in the middle of nowhere. And when I take a trend break like this at the middle of nowhere, the prior bar out is prior bar low is my out. So when it did this crazy weird candle out of nowhere at 1224, it just broke it. I don't even think I was sitting here when it happened, to be honest. I would have done the lesson of the day and gotten up and had the stop in. But that ended up being a bad wick out, but you have stop orders for a reason. Like, for all I know, that could have legitimately been something in that moment. So we're out of it now. I don't know if I'll go back to this. On one other note, just on the chips. So AMD's having trouble today, down 2%. It just made the low of the day. I was short it this morning, kind of gave it up when everything started to look bullish again. But I'm thinking this, if we're looking weak this afternoon, this is the one to pick on. And what just happened today on the daily, rejected 120 this earlier, but we've lost the 115 support. Here, it's easier to see this way. You've lost the support that was at the 15. You flat bottom broke 14. 14 turned into resistance. Now you're threatening to break a key close price at 112.5. I think shorting the pop back into the volume weighted average price for 13 even on AMD makes sense, as weak as this stock is. If the market's going to give it up, I want something for an idea short. Because we were outside of Apple, I don't know if we came in today thinking about any shorts. And wow, Apple's really taking it. Yeah, it's 1.5% now on Apple to the downside. It's pooping, says Sharif. And there's the 50 period. Mag 7 name under its 50 period moving average as of right now. The only one, and it is Apple.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, there's not much to tell you guys right now. We take out another piece there of Tesla at this level. Look, I don't have NVIDIA written down today. you know, I looked at it early. We talked about it. I couldn't really find any levels on it, so I just kind of passed. You know, if it had gotten up top, we love the 137. We'll short that if we get a chance. Shout out to my wife. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. But yeah, like, I don't know if we can get down to there. I'd rather trade names that are moving around a little bit here. Let's see if Tesla gets above 350 again. That's going to be the next play. And if we have to drop it, I was thinking about 347. I don't know. We don't have very many shares left on this. Also, why not look at the Google I.O. event one more time here? As the market's falling down, Google may have found a little bit of a base. But again, we don't want to short anything that's this far away from the lines. We got to get a little closer to VWAP in order to do that. All right, so the wife and I are watching Righteous Gemstones. We're almost done that one. We started a new show on Netflix yesterday called...
Crave screwed me.
It's with Steve Carell. It's with Tina Fey. It's called something funny. Oh, 4 Seasons.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, 4 Seasons.
I haven't watched it. You know what happened to me on Crave?
Someone's talking to me. Yep.
When I upgraded, remember?
Yeah, I gave you the free thing. I
Sean won on Tim Hortons. It was 2 free months.
Damn you, Tim
But then when I went to upgrade my phone, they give me a deal, basically free add-on for Crave. So I go to like, okay, well, I'm not gonna renew the 2 free months. So I make sure I cancel so that doesn't renew.
Right. Perfect.
And then I want to use my same account because I'm watching.
Right,
shows
you already
and
have
stuff.
your settings.
So I cancel that one, and then I activate with the code they gave, with the thing they gave me.
What, with like
through my
with
new
Bell
phone.
or something?
Yeah, with Bell. And so I activate it. I think everything's fine. I use the same email address, and everything looks like it's good. And then all of a sudden, like, I have access to nothing. So now I have to get on the phone. It's like, look, man.
That'll get that.
No, I'll get it. It'll get fixed.
Yeah.
It's just that I was gonna start the Last of Us. No, but I had Sharif's like, yeah, I sent you a Crave. I had free ones, but I got it with my phone upgrade. So I was like, I might as well take that. But then when I went to transfer the free, it's like, pain in the butt. They should make it easier. Make things easy for me, and I'll be happier. Very quickly here. Yeah, Last of Us is really good, but I haven't started the new season, like season 2. So I'm still waiting on that. I'll get to it at some point. Although, maybe I won't because I'm on vacation next week in Budapest. What? You know, I said this a million times, Sharif. So just one thing.
Well, Mateo works here.
We held
Robbie is
QBTS held 17 there, so I thought it was going to get to 17:30. Robbie messaged me. We have a good friend.
Maybe it is Mateo.
This is a good friend of ours. He was here in Toronto at head office when I started, and he worked in the back office. He was training with the traders in my group, despite that he was going to do a back office job, and he's from Hungary. And so every now and then he comes by to visit. So now I get to go to Budapest. We'll probably link up for some coffee. I'm excited. I can't wait. I mean, Europe is fantastic just for the food in general. But the market would be more fantastic if we weren't bleeding like this. So if we can't hold on to this, it's not holding on to 17 even. I wanted to see 17 retest. It feels like we're headed lower. Yeah, there we go. There was a buyer there at 95. I was like, ho-humming. I was going to put a stop order. I should have just put the stop order underneath. I'm going to get out of QBTS. It seems like we want to resolve lower. And the bigger entry, the bigger level on the stock was like the implied, pullback into prior high, which is about 16.20 and sets up at the volume weighted average price. So I want to continue to take pot shots at this on the way down. But the market, just to give you an idea of why you get a little bit skittish of the longs, on the Qs, we just had this nice little rally and we're right back to the lows. So, I think you want to scalp the longs if you can get them and, not necessarily force any price action. Like I'm looking back at IBIT, which was still looking pretty strong, and that just came in and was sitting on the bid there. I got out flax. I'm like, ooh, I just said I don't want any more long, so I just punched out of that one right away. So you see it come in and out. But maybe this can go all the way to VWAP as well. We're going to pick our spots here with the long because the shorts are in control big time right now.
Yeah, big time. So what we want to do is just review what we've been doing. So we got out at 51s, then we got out at 49s, then we got out at 48. So we have, I thought I was going to get out $1 on the way upside all the way, but this is why you have to, these outs here, 53, 54, 54, 55, you got to have, and this is the thing, especially, I wish I could have predicted the future and got them all out at the top. But right now, I'm just looking to see about where reloading is possible. I'm thinking 345. If we take 345 and it breaks right here, 344.50, then I'm out. So I am going to put that bid in right now. And I'm going to go 344, 48s or so on that break. There's a lot of liquidity, so we're not going to worry about it. We'll just send a market order if it does break, and then we'll put a bid around 345 to see if that's something that we want to do. Robinhood is actually coming in as well for a secondary trade. I mean, I'm all the money today for me. I mean, anyways, Qs, Tesla, UNH, right? We're down on Palantir. That's it. Like we're up on everything else, and then down on small on Google. Actually, Google and Palantir are both relatively small as far as getting hit down. But there goes Robinhood also trying to break some backs right now. But I wanted to actually look at Tesla and just to see this 345. That's not Tesla. This is Tesla. Anyways, Robinhood coming right back into day's low again. Not the day's low, my bad, but sort of this low. The open was really funny today. We had a lot of back and forth until eventually ripping higher. We saw that with Tesla as well. This is almost an exact same chart as Tesla, where we went to the upside, then just faded, then started climbing, then faded dramatically right now. So I think there's going to be some buyers here at 64. If we get a little closer, we will buy some 64s on Tesla. But what I was trying, or sorry, on Robinhood, there's 345, there's 344. So if we break through here, that's 343.50, but I'm going to give it a little bit lower, a little bit higher than that, 344. So if we break 344.50, then we're gone out of this trade and looking to get a little bit more at these lows. But the market's coming in greatly. And I mean, this is P&L number 2 stock. Only started trading it for myself at 130. Went long, got out, and then whoops. Like again, we can't predict what's going to happen. So you got to have stops and we get out. And you actually right now are giving you a little bit of a volume indicator down here that maybe we have exhausted this move. 69.85 or so could be a good long area down there for the TQs. So let's just give it a couple seconds. Let's give a couple breaths. But I am thinking about longing the Nasdaq right down here against this bottom. I'd like to see it test one more time. If it's already gone, it's gone, and maybe we've missed it. But let's see if it wants to test one more time down here, and then we'll have a look. And then if it holds, then I think it's go time after that. So, all right, let's go over to Neil and see what he's talking about.
Well, not on that chart that you just saw was there any bad slippage on that order on the Qs. That's why you have stop orders. But if you ever entered an order to buy or to sell, maybe to stop order, and you got a fill that was entirely different from what you were expecting, yeah, slippage. It can be nasty, especially when the market's moving like it is in the last 20, 30 minutes or the last few weeks with all the volatility we've seen. That happens when you're trading on an old or underpowered computer, and it costs traders a bundle. That's why our friends at Easy Trading Computers created the complete guide to trading computers. The guide shows you exactly what technology you need to succeed as a trader and to avoid that slippage. Go ahead and scan the QR code or click the link in the description box to get a free copy of this guide. Shout out to Easy Trading Computers. I can tell you, slippage matters. Umpteen examples. It was one of the reasons why I didn't like that eToro. The eToro IPO was when it opened up, I'm like, liquidity looks terrible. I think there's going to be a ton of slippage if it broke the low of the day, and there was. So I sized down to like 1/20th of what I would normally take, and was like, man, that was nasty slippage still. But it matters, and if you can predict it when there's lack of liquidity. When there's good liquidity, sometimes you can't predict it as easily. Okay, we just got a second green candle on the Qs, so I like it a little bit better. We're in the target area for IBIT. Like, we're not at VWAP, but we're into that $60 level on IBIT. Was also a pretty big resistance spot the last couple of days. So I might take a shot. Looks like we're trying to bounce out in front of that. It's tricky because while we've held the longs, I said we're about to put a second. I was like, yeah, we're putting a second green candle in here, and now we're retesting the lows. So yeah, well, I guess I'm letting it retest the lows at this point. I keep wanting to get in, and then it doesn't look good, and we're still waiting. I guess we're going to wait for VWAP in here. I'd rather, sometimes you just got to be patient. And I don't really see anything that I want to punch short in. I was looking at CoreWeave, actually.
Something like that is probably great.
Well, that's my first thought was, what's the most ridiculously high-flying stock that has refused to come down? And at least maybe you can join a move in that to the downside. So CoreWeave's the first thing that came to my mind, and for obvious reasons. And even it's at its pre-market support. It's broken trend already. I think it would need to lose this level here. It's 92, or maybe play it back into 94. So play a bounce into 94, or it needs to lose this 92, like third level here. But CoreWeave, that kind of stands out because it's been so incredibly strong for so long that, I mean, even one, hey, let's take some profit kind of day, and this should be able to drop pretty heavily. So the market takes the lows. I'm going to have CoreWeave up for a little bit of a breakdown play. just going to replace QBTS with CoreWeave on my level 2 because I don't want to move Tesla and I don't want to move IBIT. And yeah, you just got to pick something new. I think CoreWeave, I did pay for locates this morning, at least I'm pretty sure, because I was like, if it goes to 100K or $100, I wanted to short that level. It never got there.
All right, we're reloaded here. Yeah, good look there on CoreWeave for sure. I mean, what a crazy stock that's been since earnings and since it's been wanting to go. We didn't quite double up our position here, but we did add to it. People in the chat wanting to know what my plan is there for Tesla. I mean, I think we discussed it pretty good there. I'm going to buy right now 345.15s. That's where I'm sitting just because, honestly, it's just into this area. I kind of randomly picked it. It would kind of be the bottom right there. And then if we break this, I'm not going to wait for this. I mean, right now, the market is completely falling down. I'm not going to wait for the low again to break. I mean, it'll be pretty close to that if it does break us out. Right there, 344.50. That's this low right there. Goes right in. I mean, I can zoom. It doesn't matter. You guys will believe me, but it's right into here, 344.50. So right there, this fill right here. So if we break below that, I don't really want, we had a lot of problems getting above this area, so I'm not going to fight it. Tesla's going to go red in a minute here. So I don't know exactly what Elon was all about there, but there, I mean, here it goes. So hands off, man. I'm not.
Fault. It's whatever's going on with the market.
No. Tesla's falling much more dramatic than the market.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got off CNBC and then it was downside ever since, right? And so it looks like it will break us out here. I don't want to get stopped out, but I'm not going to change I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to change where that stop is. We're still going to keep this P&L number 1, but we are giving some back. I mean, it's not like a dramatic. We're long at 345.20 right now. We'll lose 70 cents. And honestly, we don't have a whole crap load of shares or anything like that, but still going to be, you know, yuck to get hit on it. But let's see, maybe we do find a bottom here. We did say also that maybe the futures were trying to bottom. Now, I don't necessarily want to go long both of these things here, Tesla and the futures. I mean, if one works, the other one should work. So I'm going to wait to see if Tesla wants to get going a little bit. Although what Neil said is accurate, you know, the futures are heading, okay, I'm going to get a piece out right now. Maybe not. The futures are heading to the downside, so Tesla is a little more aggressive, it seems like, than the futures right now, as the futures are ticking up and Tesla's still going lower. So yeah, it's making me think that maybe we do need to get out. But I had this thought before earlier, and it did this. So let's just wait. But our stop is where it is, pretty controlled. All right, we'll try some TQs in case one goes and the other one doesn't. Let's just put on a little bit of a bid here at 03s and then a little bit lower into the 90s and see if that wants to go. So now we're long a little bit. I'm going to put my stop right there, 85s. If we break below that, 69, let's just go 79, then we will get out. So we're going to try the long here in this market. We said we'd like to see it hold one more time down here, and that's kind of what it did. So 4 tests down here. Let's see if it wants to hold it. We'll average this back in and around 90, but yeah, break of 79 or that local bottom, we're gone. On Zeno, brand Zeno, out of that ASAP. We could have got out for flat already, if not a small winner on Tesla, but I'm going to see how high this thing wants to fly. All right, come on, Tesla. I'm going to take a piece out at 50. There we go. We get a 45. Maybe it'll go upside now as we relieve some pressure here from Tesla, but it's the futures for me. We're in it. We're reloaded down here on the futures. Let me take something out at 07 if we can. Then we'll take something out at 13s, and then we'll see if we can get a little bit more as we continue to go higher. I'm just hitting keys like a maniac because I want to make sure that we get some out. Top off our day a little bit. Let's go, Tesla. Let's go. Nice move back a little bit higher here for TSLA. Give me that 70 right there. There it is. Yes, a nice quick little 70-cent scalp on Tesla, man. Traders got to trade, and we're doing that right now for you, and we're doing it live. Adara, what's up?
For one here, also doing it live will be Donald Trump and U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. They're set to speak at 3 p.m. I'm just seeing apparently that stream is ready to go, so that's on watch. Also on watch here, WRBY. Warby Parker basically already had this move, but in case you missed it, we had a briefing coming out from the Google event that Google would be investing in and having a partnership with Warby Parker. Google just announced at this event that Warby Parker and a company called Gentle Monster are going to be Google's first glasses or eyewear partners. So again, it's not really reacting. It kind of already had that reaction, but WRBY still on watch here. EYE also on watch in the healthcare space. I'm seeing apparently Hedgeye said that this is one of their long ideas from their healthcare analyst. Not really moving here though, guys. Get ready. Keep an eye on these defense names as we get Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ready to take the podium. Back to you.
Jai in I believe is that. I guess that's that'll be accurate, but.
Yeah.
good for them, I suppose. So we waited for VWAP, and we're testing VWAP on IBIT right now. Just checking. CoreWeave starting to bounce back up. Let's do two things at once here. CoreWeave, I'm looking at 94. Like if it comes back in for a lower high, I'll take a shot at this into the 94 level. I'm looking for a reversion, like a short on CoreWeave there. But I think if the market starts bouncing, I have to watch the futures. I don't want to get run over by CoreWeave. I want to make sure you get it on the other side, like on the back end of the trade. So that's still very much on the radar, just because it's up so much that if we continue downside, it feels like that would be the name that has the most room to go. So VWAP bounce in. If we break back above 60s on IBIT, which we closed, the actual close was 59.99 yesterday, not 60. I know we've been saying 60 all day, but obviously doesn't matter. VWAP sits at 59.86, so it has to break that support anyways for me to get out. And I want to be adding on any bottoming tail that we get down here on IBIT. So far, it's starting to level off, looking like we're getting a little bit of a turn here. Want to make sure we get some out to the upside. I still think you could run into some resistance on some lower highs. If we get to like 60-20, 60-30, I think you're running into some resistance and want to take some profit on that bad boy. So CoreWeave's the only thing I'm thinking short the pop on as we try to ride the wave higher. And speaking of the wave, D-Wave also got to VWAP. I didn't really get in. I was looking at, obviously, IBIT at the time. But if we get one more shot at this, this is still the level I like on QBTS. So make it one more chance at a bottoming tail candle if the futures head lower, and then see if we can't scalp that one off the volume-weighted average price. So here we go. Market's starting to make that little bit of bounce to get over 60, and then we're good to go. Pick your spots, everybody. Pick your spots.
All right, man. I mean, we had $10 winner. We'll have a $1 winner now on this. And we were getting some out at 345.50, 346s. We just got 346 again, 346.15 we just got to put exactly $1 in our pocket. Let's see now where we want to go, man. No more offers. Actually, that's a lie. I have one at 347.15s. And then we'll see about VWAP 349 and then hopefully a little bit higher. But we are getting out and out and out of these positions. We're in scalp mode now. We've had a great day, obviously. As we can see here, Tesla's been quite the day. And then we're going to try to see if we can absorb a little bit of this trade as well down here with the TQs. I am looking to get a little bit more, a little bit longer here. Actually, I just realized I don't have a bid down there. Why is that? Sean? Okay. We'll put a bid down there in the 90s again. But here we go. Maybe we do get some outs. Our best outs on this trade has been pretty good, actually. 06s is our least, and about 9s or 10s is our best. So let's see if we can get back up there. We're offering some 05s. We'll see if we can get that. And then we'll see about blasting higher on the futures. But we still want to look for more names, right? So let's just keep going. I said Robinhood might have been a good long. Let's have a quick look. It's not. It broke through 64 and right now back into the day's low again. So we'd really like to see the official day's low get tested down there, 63.60. But yeah, I mean, it's been quite the nice day. I keep on checking. We went for a nice walk a couple times. Went and got a coffee with Sir Randy as well. This, by the way, London Fog. Anybody heard of London Fog before?
I have not.
Earl Grey. It's like a tea latte, apparently.
What's weird is Earl Grey. That's a tea I drive all the time, but I never have anything in it. So
yeah, me too. I always have it black.
It's black, so
it's like foamed. It's a latte. It's tea.
Foamed tea?
Tea latte. It's chai lattes. You heard of chai latte?
I've heard of it. I've never been into it. I drink my coffee black. I drink my tea black. So
I drink it with a little bit of milk, but this is a little bit too. I had 20% off at Tim Hortons.
Go Timmy's.
Yeah, man. I'll save that money. You know what I mean? So I was like, hey, it's a little bit off. We'll get an expensive drink. Right there, it's not that expensive. $3. Okay.
Expensive.
Wow, for Tim Hortons.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, Tim Hortons coffee is $2. This $3.
Yeah,
This is actually $4.29, but minus the 20% came up to $3.60, something like that. I don't know. You add back tax. I mean, tax is 13% anyway.
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
Tax. Tax in Canada? We don't pay tax in Canada.
No, we do not.
Not even a little bit, Sean.
Well, look, I mean, you could tax me at double whatever they charge in the United States. I mean, Canada is, ranked nicely in some of these places
I'm not
to live for reasons.
Man.
All right, we actually just got reloaded down there. Oh boy! So I'm gonna take out some more down here. I'm gonna take out some, like, we hit the key like a rapid fire right there to make sure we get some out. I didn't even realize we got that fill again down there. Good. Give me those 01s. Give me those 02s. Give me that nut. See if we get up into 04 now and then rip on this one. Hopefully the futures can go, man. We have a decent position on now. We just got reloaded down there. Let's see if we can go now on these TQs and get going, man. $1 in the money over there. Still $7 in on UNH, but this name has also fallen from graces as well. This is a big trade that we had earlier on right now. The reason why I talked about that, I was actually going to talk about the weather. We're supposed to have baseball practice tonight, so hopefully it holds out. It's a gorgeous day, but it's supposed to be raining like the rest of the next 3 days.
Oh, we play tonight.
Oh, you're fine. As long as, yeah. We have volleyball, baseball, basketball tonight.
I was about to check my daughter's baseball. We play I get home.
It's ridiculous.
I don't even have time to change into my coach uniform, and then I'm out the door. I won't even eat anything. Get it ready, and then we're out the door to the game. Make sure we get early, do warm-ups and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so,
well, our game is
as long as the weather's nice.
So
we play at 6. We play at 6.
That's right. Yeah, we always used to play 6:30.
We're early.
The weather's supposed to be nice. I mean, I don't know, Brampton.
I just missed.
Let me see here.
I think I just missed the turn on Core. CoreWeave did make a nice,
looks good,
lower high trending down. You can sort of see this, but I tried to catch it on the way down instead of the way up, and I did not get filled. So leave it in there, see if we get picked up. But the name that I wanted short on this trend is not going to give it to me. But the best part about it is if this trend holds, there should be another retest at some point. So I'm just going to hit save on my, whoops, it's 3 o'clock. You know how I know it's 3 o'clock? Because I get that Australia error message when I refresh. So we'll get rid of that. Leave the trend line in there. See if we can't pick something up. Well, it might actually still fill me. Might still get that fill. Just going to leave it right in there with the quarters. We might be able to get that fill after all. Apple's going right back down in. IBIT, you don't want to give back too much, but we just tested 59. And here is that 59. There's your wick. There's only one green bounce here when it tried to hold the 90 level. It's got to do something. Trend break is too steep. So the hold of the volume weighted average price in a bottoming tail candle. That can get me back in as we jump into power hour. Wish I had another short idea to maybe even things out here, but
Google.
For now, Google?
Yeah.
I don't have that one up really. I decided I wanted to stay. Yeah.
Futures are going lower. So we'll just get stopped out.
I'm not going to take.
Yeah, we'll get stopped out of that last futures trade. Like I said, man, we keep it in the pocket. We didn't do anything too crazy there. That's why, you guys saw me hitting the key like a maniac there when we were taking 10 cents there. And then it falls in, and this was a 5-cent move, and then there it goes right out. All the moves are violently to the downside right now in this market. So you got to be careful with it. I have news in my ear, and I'm not hearing anything. So, hopefully we can get it. If Adara wants to update us with anything, that'd be great. She's over there. So if there's anything happening, she'll get that to us. There goes Tesla. So again, in and out, and then out again. So it's falling back right now as Tesla coming back in for us. So still Tesla 1, Qs 2, UNH 3, but that's kind of hovering as well. We traded a little bit of Fannie Mae, but then no Palantir today since the open, and that's hovering pretty nicely, actually holding out okay. The futures are now broken and just continuously going lower here. So I would just say watch out right now. I'm not hearing any news, and if there is anything, obviously we'll get it to you. But nice downside play there, breaking a little bit lower. I guess they weren't super excited about whatever Elon had to say. He was there saying robo-taxis and all that was on track for later on this year, so that was kicking it. And then after he left, that was it. I don't know if they were waiting to hear him say, because he's still in Doge, right? I know he's not participating as much or whatever anymore. So maybe people were waiting for him to say see you later to that, and that
give a date or something.
Yeah, and that never happened. So 343. I'm almost thinking about going short on Tesla now if we take that low of the day. You have to have the ability to flip up your plan, and I think that would be something that I am. Yeah, Elon has left the building as his stock right now, but. Yeah, Google, there's the break that I'm talking about, breaking lower on Google right now. Typically I'd like to see something, a little higher, but nothing right now is going to look that great. If anything, I think we might have missed our opportunity to short the Qs. If we had that negative bias there, this was a much better short instead of just getting out of all the longs. We could have been short there at $70. That was a better play. For sure. So you're just in IBIT at 60.
I missed CoreWeave was
IBIT's 105.
That was the one.
Bitcoin's 105.
And then the flat bottom break doesn't fill either on I almost said IBIT, on CoreWeave. So I tried to get it on the trend bounce. CoreWeave has a spread on it, so like that's part of the game. But then it broke the flat bottom and no fill when we crossed down to 33s. So you didn't even get the fill there. So look, it's dropping like a rock.
Everything is getting
like
hit.
everything is absolutely shellacked.
I might take 163 break on Google.
Bitcoin's barely holding on to the volume weighted average price, but it's so close to breaking it. Like it just bounced once. Can it bounce a second time off VWAP? Remains to be seen. I'm looking for the first green candle. And if we get a green candle off VWAP, then we'd have at least a shot at a trend break. And then on a trend break is where I try to add to it, probably in the 90s. Yeah, CoreWeave's pretty much gone. I just saw someone in the chat say the S&P and the Dow just went red on the year.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah, it makes sense. We were only up like 1%.
Yeah, I know we weren't up much. But
we can check year to date.
Check. January was right here, somewhere
Definitely
around here.
Close.
Yeah, it's real close. Yeah, I think so. There's a second. So
Thank you, Casey, for that.
It's really close. I don't know if we are, but it's really close on the SPY. So we're teetering on losing. I mean, we only went red for 2 days anyway, so it's not like it's that big of a deal, but psychologically it does matter. I'm assuming the volatility is going up. Gold is on a solid run, which continues here today, obviously.
You want to try Tesla?
But it's not doing anything. Like gold is now, like it's holding the highs, but it's like, okay, well, you think it's going to break out in this volatility? It's literally not moving right now. GLD.
Tesla just took out its low.
Yeah, I'm not touching Tesla.
Look at that out again. Like these outs. I'm going short Google, by the way, if it breaks it. Like Tesla, just all of these outs, like saved, man. Like, all right, if Google breaks 163, I'm going to go for it. It's down 2%. The market could bleed a lot more. Thank you, Casey, in the chat there for that. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe. If you are in the chat, you have to be a member to be in the chat. So, 18. I didn't hit the refresh there. So let's hit the refresh and see how many of you have liked this stream for sure. If you like the stream, like the stream. We always say that, but there it is, 341. What's up with that? 6,300 watching, guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. And if you do that, then your next trade hopefully will be a winner. But I cannot promise that. 342 right now for Tesla, going lower. Apple, it really was a downside play today as well. Down only 1.7%. So Google down more right now than Apple. Sundar Pichai like, what have I done? Right there, and maybe you should have came up with something a little more creative than that, Sundar. But we'll wait to see. Google obviously following the way of the market. I don't think it has anything to do with Google I/O, but I'm going to go short right now as we break through. There it is. So now we're short, and here we go. Let's see how low Google wants to go. It breaks it. I get short 97s. I think I saw like a 92 fill there or something like that. Yeah, goes as low as 91. But this is what happens on breaks. So I have to be comfortable waiting for this to come back in. Was it a high volume? No, it wasn't on that break. So I think we're fine with that. It's not like people got capitulated out on some of their stops. But 163 would make sense for a stop. That's literally the low of the day, and we bounced directly off of that. So I took it with momentum, but definitely not a full position, hoping that we did have the opportunity to get back upside. Look, I mean, I'd rather it just keep tanking right now, but this is kind of par for the course. We've seen this happen before. I'm looking to think about where to get back and average into this so I don't like lose my whole day if it's wrong. I'm thinking about getting out maybe on a 164 break, which is the 50-period moving average. We want to try to be right on this. If we're not, fine, but I'm punching the short here. Let's see if it wants to work. It's literally the low of the day. So the futures are going to have to continue moving lower, or this trade's going to be busted. So we'll wait. We'll wait up for 164 right into here. See if we can get some more love on the short, but not for a little while longer. Has to go upside from here. Google, let's see if the short wants to play.
Oh, come on, CoreWeave just broke down again underneath VWAP. Am I getting filled here? No.
No, you just got to punch it out, punch it in.
Well, I just hit the bid.
That's what I did with Google, man. The minute it broke, it was just like,
the other thing, just quickly here.
It's power hour.
It is power hour. There's only about 50 minutes left in the day. There are some imbalances that might be worth watching, and we'll get to them a little bit later on. Some really weird stuff happening on Nordstrom's that I'm just really happy I didn't trade Foot Locker or Nordstrom's today. Because a lot of traditional stuff that you would do with those, you'd be getting destroyed. Especially Nordstrom's. So IBIT is bouncing off VWAP. I tried to pick it up when it held VWAP, but this is the candle. Like it's a consolidation. You had to grab it. Like you almost had to take it on the red candle underneath VWAP as opposed to when it broke back up. But I'm gonna try to grab out of this at 60.15, like yesterday's highs, where I'm expecting there to be resistance. And CoreWeave is busting underneath the volume weighted average price. So it's losing VWAP. Obviously, it was a better short up here, but whatever, we're not there anymore. So that last wick took us to 90.5. Essentially, the idea was to get 90s on the way back to the downside. I ended up getting 86s, so we don't get exactly the price we want, but we didn't get anything the last time we punched it. So I want underneath the volume weighted average price, 290.5, and to think reasonably, why not be able to get to 88? This stock closed at 86.5 yesterday, and last week was at, I mean, look at the chart, whatever. Doesn't matter what I say it was at last week, you can find it yourself. CoreWeave's an absolute monster. So feel if it loses VWAP, there's a lot of room to the downside to be able to risk essentially $0.50 on it, when I think any continuation of this short, and it could drop $5, makes some sense. But I want to make sure we get this IBIT out, as it's kind of cruising above 60. I'm looking to get this out at 60.15. Although we are making a decent turn, we're still underneath some of those lows. CoreWeave just wicked me out instantly. Did it break? Yeah, it did. Okay, so it did break above VWAP. I guess that's a good out. Like I take it to $0.50 and instantly it's already pressing 91s. I guess the long is good. Like if you told me CoreWeave short wasn't going to work and IBIT was going to work, go figure. Bottoming tails, I guess, to the left of them and to the right of them. I'm still going to get out of IBIT and regroup though. I'm not feeling that bullish about this bounce. I'm going to cancel that bid there, and I think maybe even I take this out here because that was prior support. I'm just going to jump out. Jump out, feel like we get away with one there as we hold it into VWAP and don't even get the ad on the good price at VWAP. So I'll just take it out, try to regroup next. I don't want to be hanging on to that long because I don't feel like this is that constructive unless we hold the lows, make a bigger reversal bottom, something along those lines. I think take your pot shots, but I don't want to be fighting. I don't want to be fighting in the end of the day. We've had such a good rally, and psychologically, that SPY red on the year, I feel like if you reclaim that to the downside, it could get pretty nasty. So pick your spots, look for the next opportunity in there. I'm thinking maybe QBTS. And the reason I like QBTS here is, well, it just wicked VWAP, so it gives me kind of a normal entry, something you would do anyways. There's your wick to VWAP. There's you holding VWAP. Risk can be a matter of like 10 to 15 cents. Let's see if it can bounce off VWAP here. Let me just get a stop order underneath and just try to take little pot shots. Right, where I know where my out's going to be, where I have an idea of what the plan of action is, close this above the volume weighted average price, try to enter, stop goes here, offer there, offer there, offer there, that kind of a thing. And QBTS is obviously relatively strong too. But it's got to hold the volume weighted average price here. Otherwise, no mas.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
it's happening.
There it is right there. They are getting the floors being ripped out. That is this live or no? No, okay, so there it is.
Oh,
so that's the old, is
that the algo room?
Must
Jinx.
Kitchen? Oh, that's one of our boardrooms just on repeat right here. Why we just keep showing the same thing over and over again here? But yeah, that's just, again, that's
the back office boardroom? Oh, wow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So that blue wall, when we take that out, that's the trading floor. So if we were to blast that blue wall out or that pink wall, that would open it.
Like if we just busted through where Refrain is, that's where we are. That's intense. Yeah. Studio 8, everybody. This place is
here we go.
One. Better.
Oh, melting here, Ramin.
I'm melting.
Oh, nice. Let's see that again. Play that again there, Andre. I want to see this again.
Play that again.
There we go. Oh, 3, 2. I think this is like the Google I.O. event here. 3, 2, 1. It's melting. Sometimes it does feel like that in here.
It's either melting or freezing. There's no in between. We don't do, nothing is half-assed around here, especially the temperature. Like the thermostat is not playing around. Like the thermostat is here for blood.
We definitely need a new thermostat.
It's not the thermostat. It's just the distribution of, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? Like it's the airflow. Like they don't have, it's suboptimal, like kind of where they have the fans. So you can't control the temperature.
Yeah. No. I just,
with the,
part of being Canadian, and most of you guys may not know this about Canadians, but it's my belief that one thing that we have very strong is the ability to complain about weather. Like that's a very strong thing in Canada, because the thing is like when it's becoming winter, we're complaining like, oh damn, it's getting so cold, and it's like September, and we're like, what is going on here, right? And then finally, when it's summertime, we're like, oh, it's just so hot here.
Okay, not me though.
It's so humid. Yeah, you'll be like that, trust me.
No, the humidity, yes. Heat, I don't complain about heat.
No,
humidity,
but it's like,
yes,
and then it's like, wow, okay, and then we say, well, we got to enjoy it because it's only here for 2 months.
Love that.
You know, and then winter comes, it's like, what the, all this snow that's here, yada, yada, and then spring is here and it's too wet and it's still cold, like right now it's cold. And then the thing about it too is living in Toronto, you have one day is 80 degrees, the very next day is 60 degrees, basically like anybody living on the East Coast. I guess it's all very similar, but everybody I run into, I think it's just because me, it's like one of my opening lines, like about the weather, so I always use that all the time, like, oh, beautiful weather. Like tonight when I see the security guy, the concierge at the desk there, he'll be like, hey, Sean. I'll be like, hey, Alan, how's it going? I'll be like, gorgeous day outside, like absolutely gorgeous day. And then I'm like, yeah. And I'll be like, you got baseball tonight. It's lovely. All right, enjoy. See ya. And then tomorrow I'll be like, oh man, it's freezing out. Anyways, Adara, what's up? What? Nothing is up. All right, so there we go. Winnipeg, very gorgeous weather.
No. I mean, actually, it was like crazy hot last week.
See?
It was really, really bad. My friend had to go take her kids to her grandma's house because they like needed to play in the hose or whatever in the water because it was so hot. So yeah, it has been actually strikingly warm there, though apparently now it's like snowing or raining.
Right, so there we go. And global warming, of course, is not a thing. We don't have to worry about that.
Snowing?
Yeah, it's cold rain. Cold rain. But you see what I'm saying? Like we go to Adara, she instantly has a story about the weather. Like this is, and it's a recent story.
How about snow in May?
The only snow I know is...
That's a full-blown problem in May. It's a problem. I don't care where...
Shout out to Snow, Brendan's favorite artist. You guys got to look it up. Snow.
The inter-county baseball team here, which is a semi-pro team in Toronto, their new brand ambassador is literally Snow.
Yep.
Like I'm talking, like the Informer... Yeah. That dude.
Marissa was talking about that over the weekend. I know you were as well.
I do want to go watch them because they have like the first.
The same talk in Great Britain, right? It's all about the weather.
Well, because it's always raining over there.
It must be what it is.
Like I've been to England like twice, and like it rained 50% of the time.
We were lucky when we went there. It rained like one day real quick, man, and I just hopped in a cafe. Had a little pop, and then the wife and I just went out there. We actually wound up buying one umbrella. We forgot to bring an umbrella, but.
I don't travel with an umbrella. If I need it, I'll pick one up.
Yeah, that's what we did, right?
I've never traveled with an umbrella.
Well, when you go to London and you're doing sightseeing, it might.
I guess. No.
Yeah, Canadians are just northern Midwesterners. Yes, that's right. Shout out to Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin, all of that.
Go Big Ten.
Yes, go everything. But not go Google. Go Google is really hurting right now, and it's not hurting. It's going upside right now. We don't have a monster position, but we have enough shares to do something with.
Right.
And I'm going to try to get a little bit at 50 here. I thought I was waiting at 40s. Oh, there we go. I was waiting at 45s. So we get a 45 fill right there. I'm still waiting out for this to break. If it breaks back above 164, what a horrible punch short that was. It wasn't FOMO or anything. It was breaking the low of the day. I thought it was really aggressive to the downside. They have a news-related event today with Google I/O. So I'm thinking to myself, that's a good enough reason to keep going lower there if they don't like it. But the market kind of turned on a dime, and then right there, trying to see Tesla. I actually don't have it up anymore. I'm going to have a look at that. But it bounced. It didn't bounce. It broke, but it does bounce off 163. It gets a little lower, and I'm going to be stuck here at the low of the day, it seems like. But we'll average in a little bit here as we go for it. My next offer is at 70, and then I'm just going to respect the 50-period moving average. I mean, it would have worked all the way there. You did have a little hiccup right here. I hope that doesn't happen to us now, but we're just going to wait to see what happens with Google. Average price now of 4s. Not great on that for sure. UNH is coming back in. So we just have these two names right now, long and the short. You're in the short AMD, so that's gonna be
which
good.
Apparently should have been
good.
Like should have just held IBIT. Whatever. I thought we were bearish, so I got out of IBIT and got into AMD, which I did want to short pops in AMD, so this is the first available pop. That said, it's a bit of a bottoming tail candle, so maybe respect that. And I'm not really at the actual big resistance, which was at 112.75. Just kind of giving it to this curl at about the 70 level, and I took the $0.50. Nick is sitting in IBIT. Well, I don't know. What's crazy is if I wasn't already out, I'd probably be getting out right now too, at 60.20. First red candle potentially coming in there. Bitcoin holding up pretty nicely. Look, there's some reason for Bitcoin to be like some kind of a flight to safety, but it's still a risk asset. And I think if we drop far enough, it runs into some trouble. But it is relatively strong for now. So it was a mistake to have gotten out of it on that VWAP bounce so early. We're in the AMD now. I want to give it to this like 70 area that you see there on the 3-minute chart. Oh, the other thing that's going on with AMD, bit of a trend up break happening on AMD. So even if like, we get stopped out today, tomorrow I'm still thinking short because AMD lost this support level 114 to 115. I'm thinking continuation on AMD downside for a couple of days. So I do have a bias to the south side on advanced. What was Joe calling it? Advanced money doubler?
Duplicator.
Money duplicator. Well, it's down 2%.
I still like the destroyer, man.
The puts duplicated, well, not really duplicated, but 2 points to the downside at least. So the 2 is something. Adara?
But to let you guys know, we were expecting at 3 p.m. Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to make an announcement. That announcement is heavily suspected to be about the Golden Dome. Politico further reported that apparently they're going to be likely announcing a $25 billion funding commitment for the Golden Dome. Now, the stream, again, is supposed to start at 3 p.m. Every time I refresh the stream, it has a different time that it's starting now. It looks like we're starting at 3:30, so it seems like Donald Trump and co. might be a little bit late. Just want to let you guys know we are still expecting these comments, but they have not come yet, and we don't really know when they're going to happen at this time. Back to you.
Still waiting.
Yeah, that was funny because the Google
waiting on the world to change
as well. From the U.S.
Yeah, well, waiting on some news.
What's it called? Golden Dome?
Yeah, the Golden Dome. Apple's making a really good. You know what? Sometimes you just look at the technical. Like, come on. That's a long setup on Apple. I'm not even looking at Apple. Whatever. Like, I wasn't looking at Apple, so I can't pretend that we would have had this. But that's a pretty typical bottoming tail candle breakout. Like, why am I sitting? IBIT just broke higher as well, so that would have been right to hold on to that long. Now, I'm going to give some back on AMD. I just don't see this holding on the way back upside. That's also a bottoming tail candle. Sometimes your bias gets the best of you because I just look over and I'll keep leaving on AMD because this looks like it wants to take out this 70 area. Like, IBIT's going to get back to the highs, like all the way back to the highs, and we jumped out of it so that we could short something else. So as clean as everything was for most of today, this afternoon's like a chop fest, man. Like, you're just, yeah, don't doubt Bitcoin. It's too good. So I'm going to get stopped out on AMD. I'm not adding to this. It's going to break out that top, and then you're going to see me click out of it. Well, that's assuming it breaks this high. But when it does, I'll be out of that trade. And all I can do is I can wish that I was in IBIT, but I'm not. I can try to go over to QBTS and see if that's still going to be available to me, which it kind of is. So I'm going to get back on the bid of QBTS. I'll leave it here just so you can see what happens when it runs that stop. But there's VWAP on QBTS, which just did another bottoming tail candle. I should be in this at the 40 level, not waiting for 30s, as it looks like we're going to go higher. So I'm going to try and get this VWAP bounce on QBTS, and hopefully it can do what you're seeing IBIT do, which I should never have gotten out of that IBIT. So there's AMD. Wanted to make sure you guys saw that. Not going to hold past the stop out, and I'm going to go over to QBTS. So this is holding the volume weighted average price, actually trying to break out and break trend down. So you're getting a lot of things happening at once, and the market's going right back above those lows is the market. Let me nibble 50s if I can grab that. Wow. What a rally.
Yeah, nice rally here.
Literally back to the high of the day almost.
Yeah, man. This is nuts. Google's all the way back as well, up to 164. So we're getting close to getting stopped out of this. What a bad punch that was. We've averaged it up into this level, but our average price is still 37s. So it'll be a hit, man, as the market has really regrouped off of those lows. And it's just really funny, too, because all you had to do was wait for those lows again to come in. I'm just learning more every day. I mean, it's fine. Like, that breaks through there with 343. But guess where Tesla stops again? It's right at our level, the same level that we were going to get stopped out on earlier, right here. So it kind of bounces. Now, it gets lower. It gets into 341, I think. It gets 341, 341.70s there, the low. But it gets into that level again and kind of just holds. I feel like it's a little bit more of a fluke that it holds that level because the market did really rally back right there. But Tesla almost wasn't in, I don't know, it was in risk of going red there. I mean, maybe did it go red?
What the?
I mean, it might have came close going red. What is that?
I turned my head and CNN was showing a jailbreak in New Orleans where like a prison guard like helped out and there's like 20 dudes just like running out the door. That's not.
I think, I don't know. So we have Adair's talking about all this too. We do have Warby Parker, just really quickly, our WRBY. If you guys are wondering a little bit about this one, again, planned action here with Google. Yes. They're actually taking stake as well. So there we go. Let's see what kind of glasses Google comes up with here with Warby Parker, but up 17% if you're wondering.
Is that even a good thing? Like, the glasses haven't been really doing anything for any of the other.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like looking for new products.
Like you got to have it, I guess, right?
Yeah, hopefully it'll be there. So, you know, with this Iron Dome, Golden Dome thing, you could look at LMT, maybe Lockheed Martin potentially going, you know, as more money comes into that. Raytheon as well. Yeah, it's right here. It's trying to break right there. Yeah. That could be a good one there on LMT. Raytheon, which is, of course, RTX. So we could look at over there. This is all happening as we speak. Adair's going to have that news for us. I don't know. Like, none of these stocks are reacting the way like they're getting like this huge deal or anything coming through.
We have to show this. IBIT is at the high of the day.
Ooh.
And so got out way too early. Didn't even add, like look at the bottoming tail and the hold of VWAP. Said we'd add to it if it did that, didn't add. And then on top of that, I got out early. So that's both of those things are a fail. Sometimes a winning trade can be a fail. Remember, we're about to test highs. What are we at? 106.2. So 107 is like intraday market highs, and then 109 is like the weekend high. Shout out to the weekend. Let's go to Adair.
I still don't have any update here on that Pete Hegseth Donald Trump conference or announcement, but I do have a couple headlines I want to mention. Number one, Fed's Bostic talking right now. We've had some cautious comments from Feds earlier today. Fed's Muslim also striking a cautious tone during the afternoon, but Fed's Bostic saying that the current U.S. tariff level is better than initially proposed, but still high enough that it will be difficult to assess what will happen. We know that this policy uncertainty has been a big issue for the Feds, and as we get a lot of Fed speakers today, we have a lot of Fed speakers mentioning this throughout their comments. I also want to mention here TSLA. Reuters reporting that Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, is fully committed to Donald Trump and is going to be staying an advisor. So this is again reported by Reuters earlier today. Elon Musk did say that he plans on staying the Tesla CEO within the next 5 years. And he also said that he's going to be giving probably 1 to 2 days a week to D.C., of course, with his work in the Department of Government Efficiency for the Trump administration. And that he's apparently going to have dinner with Donald Trump this week. So Elon Musk saying this earlier, Reuters confirming, does not sound like, as much as there are some contrary commentary or opinions, doesn't sound like Elon Musk is going to be stepping away from the administration for the time being. Back to you.
Less than ideal.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people thinking that they would want him to be gone, but I mean, I guess as an advisory role, it's probably okay. There's
a lot of big things this year, though, for Tesla. It's a big year for Tesla.
Definitely a big year for Tesla. We'll see what's up. I mean, it's been a great year for Tesla if you're looking at where the stock has come from. I mean, if you just go here and you say, where were we last year at this time? So that's May 15th. All right, May 15th. So last year at this time, this was a $177 stock. So it's up 100% year over year. So how about them apples? 180 to 350 in a year. So all you had to do, if you have the same kind of a year that you just had, and that's not even talking about that, we already went up to there. We already went up 3x on the year.
Yeah, like you could have taken profit, bought back, and
right. And it's just, I'm just saying, like if this has a similar trajectory where we base, then we start to bump out. I mean, all you need to do is try to hold this 350. Then the next move is higher. Like if you doubled in 1 year so far, you double next year. Then it's all of a sudden doesn't look so bad.
I'm going to stink offer. 420, 69.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, that puts you right into this area here so that you're there.
It's a technical level.
460.
On the daily chart, right?
Well, it's technical enough. I mean, 420.
Yeah, close enough.
But yeah, I was going to say like 450, 470. Anyways, who knows? I don't have any.
No, I have no. Look, I don't know. I'm the dude that's like, hey, look at it hold around like 215 to 220, and then I buy $222.22 last year, and I did it again this year. I just like that price level. So look, the market is Apple is. This is Apple's move right now. Algo buying. Turn on the program for the buybacks, like maybe that's something.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I mean, Google's doing the same thing.
So if it's a program for the company in buybacks, they stop at 350. Generally speaking, the companies don't do buybacks in the last 10 minutes. I'm just in that QBTS off the volume weighted average price. It doesn't want to do what IBIT is doing, which obviously went all the way back into the high. So just remember, like IBIT's at that top. I wouldn't be punching the long up here, but then, you know, I also got it way too early. So take that with a grain of salt. IBIT was so clean up until that. I feel like I had such a good read on it for the entries. I didn't have a good entry point, and sometimes that gets the best of you because you're anchored to like where you get in. I wasn't patient enough for the VWAP test, and sometimes that's like the reason why you don't get it in as good as you can. Oh, the other thing I wanted to get over to is here's a name that we have not talked, not a single time today did we mention Meta, except for right now. So Meta, I'm not putting this into like the bear bucket, but Meta kind of losing and consolidating underneath this $650 level. I still like Meta in a general sense, but you've kind of found all kinds of chop and supply 40 to 42, and then today 40 and under into the 30s. That seems like it's going to be a brick wall on the way back up. So I'll be bullish on this stock again once it gets through this 42 nonsense. That's 2 days in a row of heavy, heavy chop on Meta, and all of it looks like resistance to me. So maybe you can chew through that. We'll see, but that's a name that I know we didn't look at all. Meta's a stock that I'm a buyer of this year. That's all. All right, so give me 77s in here, and then we'll see how far QBTS can go. I think 17 could be a problem. On the way back through the last time, 17 was a bit of an issue. We're in it at 16.5. We have about 30 minutes to go in the day. I am going to be eyeballing this 11 million. So Nordstrom's is supposed to be deleted today. The deal's closing, the take private deal. It's saying 11 million to sell. So like, it could be one of those, just try to take a couple cents. The bid's going to be like millions of shares on the bid, like that kind of a thing. But could be an opportunity. You're going to see huge numbers out of Nordstrom's is my guess. And it's already saying 11 million. I forget what the exact number is supposed to be, but suffice to say like millions and millions of shares need to be sold when it's closed.
Yeah, private bot deal over there for JWM. Sorry, not JWM. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of pressure off of this Google. I'm sitting right there at 75, so we're taking a little bit off. The market's coming back in for me just a little bit here, so I'm happy to do this. Like, it's been a little bit of a nightmare trying to hold this short, that's for sure. So I'm going to take a little bit out. I'll take another out at 70s if we can get it. Then another one I was thinking about in the mid to low 60s, and then just seeing what happens after that. You know, we've been wrong shorting this thing all the way up. We had to wait for 164 to come in. Our average price was 49s. So it was going to be about a 50-cent hit if we did wind up doing that. Hopefully now we can drop back in just a little bit for Google and then start to take out a little bit of profit. You know, we don't want to give everything back, although we were kind of doing that when we were all the way up there. So let's just start to piece a little bit out now as it comes back in and we get back into reasonable prices. Again, like one trade can ruin everything, and that's kind of what it's trying to do here for us on Google. But that's why we're getting out. We got multiple outs right there at the 50-period moving average. Like, you don't want one bad decision to absolutely ruin your whole day, but you do want one good decision to help your day out. So it's kind of like, that's one of those things. How many shares do you use at what opportunity? This was really where it went wrong, was punching the short there early. Not early, late on the move, but punching once it broke and just thinking that the momentum there was spinning. But the thing is like, if you look back, first of all, it's good because UNH is going up. We don't have that many shares in that. I was going to say, look how low the TQ's got. 69.40 right there. Like, that was a great, like, wow, what a move downside right there.
The ear again.
Zelensky's speaking now in our ear. Just not saying much, just saying needs some more help from the U.S., basically. All right, so, and you know how Trump is about that one. You don't have the cards, apparently. 163.70 was a couple outs right there. We got out of about 25% of what we had. We need to get out of a little bit more. Let's see if this thing falls down. 164.10 and we're out of this trade. The bank stocks, though, shout out to everybody here trading bank stocks today. They're doing well as far as I can see. JP Morgan upside. I mean, the Dow, we talked about the ES and the Nasdaq both turning red pretty decently too, each down 0.5. And then the Dow Jones, I could check out what that's doing. Obviously, JP Morgan into that as well. But right into there, back up to the 200-period moving average. Very strong. Like, talk about getting some dip buy opportunities. Right into the breakout level from the morning there, 265. Great opportunity there for JP Morgan traders. Just a quick look at the banks, and I'll pass it back. I got to go load up the screen over there to make sure we're ready to go for the after show. Yeah, so JP Morgan strong, but XLF in the bank sector weak. Actually weaker than the market. So JP's doing something right as opposed to the rest of them. I always like to look at Citigroup because it's kind of similar, obviously, with Goldman Sachs, more of investment bank with Morgan Stanley. Yeah, so Citigroup downside as well. So it looks like JP Morgan just catching a bit of wind. They had their conference going on, and yeah, catching some wind from that. It looks like JP Morgan up 0.3.
Well, Jamie Dimon is not imminently retiring. He's obviously stepping down the next few years, but he spoke pretty negatively about somewhat cautiously about negatively is probably the wrong word, cautiously about the market, cautiously about M&A and banking and some of the revenues that they would get from that. But overall, I think they're still looking pretty good. All right, there's the high of the day on IBIT.
Yep.
So it's there now. We're at 106.5. Maybe we do get that break. Maybe it's gonna break 107. So as far like we've been tossing it around, like what is the actual high? Get it? 109 is the actual high. That was over the weekend. And if you look, kind of pull back here, 107 is a big resistance zone. Should have stayed in it. Did not stay in that long on IBIT. At this point, I'm not even thinking like a trend reversion trade or anything like that. It's just, had I been holding, I'd have a trailing stop in, but I'm not. The only thing we are in, that I am in right now, is that QBTS. And D-Wave is deciding, I mean, it gave us the first move, pull back into 60s, and then it pulled into like the 80s here. Like, so we got out some at like 73 or 74. There, we're in at the $0.50, and it's starting to come back in. So I still think it can go, but it's essentially giving you dimes and quarters when some of the other moves were a little bit better. Like earlier in the day, when it reverted, like it's going very clean, like 40, 50 cents at a time. So much more muted moves here overall in QBTS. Nvidia is going. Apparently everything is looking pretty good. Looking at Tesla as well. So to kind of break things down on Tesla, that's a ridiculous trend break that should have been punched. But all of a sudden, too, like that 47 was the early morning resistance. I think that's going to be the key. Like, can it get back above 47? Otherwise, you've got resistance for half the day, pre-market, and then most of the open under 47. And I think that'll be a bit of a problem. So I'm not really keen on VWAP. I think I'm keen on that 347 for sure. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, Sharice's fourth baby mama. Not sure where 1, 2, and 3 are. Great show, you say. Well, I got to shout you out every single time. So Sharif's fourth baby mama, appreciate the quality words. And I just see there's Stephen Haas saying NVIDIA going north. Everything is going north. Like, look at the Nasdaq right now. Bottoming tail, classic reversal pattern. Reversing it alongs early would have been a heck of a lot better. But if you were feeling bearish on that turn, kind of one of those things where I'm looking for a short, try to find them. And the other part of being biased is a bias will get you in two ways. It can make you enter in the wrong direction, but the other thing it can do is it can make you not add to a long. It can make you get out of a long early. There's all kinds of things where if you have a directional bias that ends up being wrong, then suddenly even good trades can turn into bad trades, which I think I'm going to call I'm going to call that one a bad one. Ari Pages, Sharif is a family man. Absolutely. We're all family men around here. Everyone around here is a family man. I think, you know what, let's just say this. Everybody is a family person. Like, nothing more important than family in life. The one thing that pretty much everybody, like all humans, agree on is it's like you want your kids to have a better life than you. And you're happy when you get that like unquestionable love from them, and you want to spend more time with your parents while they're around. Like, who doesn't believe in those things? I also believe this market is killing me. You try not to get FOMO when you see stuff like this, but I'm staring down Bitcoin, and I got to look at something else, man. I got to look at something else. So I'm going to go back over the QBTS, which we're actually in. No continuation yet on that move. I can zoom it in so you can really see what's happening. You got the wick into 80. We're in at the 50 level. At this point, if it can't hold on to our entry, this is not moving enough. It's just not moving enough to my estimation, and it's past 330. So if it's not going, you don't have to be in it. If we lose break even, I'll try to pick it up maybe back at like VWAP or something. But I'm just going to throw the stop underneath the $0.50. If it breaks down, then you pick it up maybe at the quarters again and just go for another scalp trade. It's moving quarters anyways, so it just pulled back a quarter. So if it pulls back a quarter and loses it, I just jump out of it. It ends up only giving you a 25-cent move, which is good for a $16 stock, but this thing was moving dollars this morning. Just D-Wave not doing it now. Jay Lee's shorting some IBIT here. If it was at the 107, we're still $500 away from the 107 level. I'd be thinking that as well. But I'm kind of thinking, like, if the high is 107 intraday, then it doesn't have to move much further to get the next $500. Press a little bit higher into the technical high and then take the reversion. I'd rather wait for the big level. It's still trending up. Like, why short it now when it's still trending up? Otherwise, it's like, okay, well, does it break this trend line? I could draw that a little bit better, but I think that's pretty good. Does it break the trend line? Then get in on a trend break or get in when it gets to 107. That's the way that I'm going to short it, if I even get to, because it's 337. Let's take care of some. Well, you know what? I was gonna say this because we're gonna talk about this now. UNH, because I've had this one up. UNH first stop, because I bought this yesterday at 305. Should have bought it at 280. Whatever, that was silly. But I've had this up on eSignal. When you were talking about it, I forgot to mention it. Great trade today. But if it goes into this gap, I'm taking some out if I even sniff $380. And that's it's in my TFSA, swing account. Go eSignal, go UNH.
Yeah, I like UNH. UNH has been a good trade today, and you can always find those trades pretty easily if you're looking at charts. And one of the best charting programs around is eSignal. So listen up, traders. Grab that first month for free, and don't short Google at the bottom. That's not a good idea. That's right. We are waiving those fees. Trade smarter. Analyze your trades with the most elite charting software available. Connect over 50 plus brokers. We definitely like that. Infinite data, instant trading at your fingertips. Customizable charts. I mean, like we mentioned, any chart you're looking for, man. 1 second chart, trust me. Tick charts, all of that there, trust me, bro, available on eSignal. Back testing, game-changing opportunities for your own charting experiences. Make sure you do grab eSignal. Again, able to tweet things out, no problem. These scanners we talk about all the time, very, very popular around here. Some traders don't use scanners. Some will just stick with, 4 or 5 hot names. Do you. But scanners are awesome. We talk about them all the time on the show. Also, curated lists, right? Like, there we go. Those were symbols breaking VWAP right there. So you can get those in your pocket with eSignal. Let them do all the work and let us give you that first month free. I mean, look, just scan the thing. Get out your phone. If you're wondering how the QR codes work, open up your camera, hold it there. It'll light up a link, and then you click that and you hit subscribe, and it's for free. Talk to eSignal, and yeah, we'll hook you up. So there it is, 1 month free. Thank you, eSignal, for all of that. All right, so yeah, man, this is the market that we live in right now, and it's a fun one to trade, that is for sure. But right into there, so Google, by the way, we got stopped out on that. Talking about our good trades, oops, that's still the Qs. There it is right here, short. Look, we got Summit at the 50-period moving average, and we actually wound up getting stopped out there once it breaks 05s or whatever it was. So I thought I had 10s, maybe it was, I can check. Price did we get? Yeah, 11. So actually, that is what it was. So there's the break right there on that. We were able to get a little bit out down to the downside. We talked about getting out 20 to 25%, but that does not mean we don't lose on the rest of them, which we do. Now it's trying to barcode. This is giving me a little bit of ideas again to maybe go short against 164.22s. So I was thinking about doing that. We are short the Nasdaq right now, so to get blown out of the Nasdaq and out of Google, like if I go short one, the other one probably, they'll trade sort of together here as the momentum's been upside. So we'll go short right now, the TQs, see what winds up happening. Good little trade so far as it's trying to push back in right now, but I'll put something on the bid at around 45. See if we get something out and then maybe get a little bit lower than that. Look, we could get a little bit of a late day push down. I don't know what this golden dome, iron dome, and all that kind of stuff is going to mean, but we do know how well that worked, obviously, in Israel. We saw, I think there was that one time they fired, I don't know how many. Umpteen, and none of them got through. So we do know that it is well done there. And I don't know, billions, what did it say, 25 billion or something in that project? Whoa.
The amount of billions.
Oh gosh, there was just some size there. I'm gonna put a bid there.
And billions.
I just punched out some at 48. Look at that size right now on the bid, down there at 46. It's not really gonna matter because this is an ETF.
It should chew through.
And it should just chew through it, 60 million shares. But what's that guy doing there? Why are we there, my guy? There it is, got hit again. No, that's That sucks. I'm at 45s. So I just went to 45 randomly there before that dude showed up. I'm going to put a bid now at 47, get in front of that. I don't know. I don't think he just stopped the move on the TQs. That's not possible, but that sucked that he was there. So it looks like there's some buyers right now. So we'll go short 53s. We just covered some at 47. We'll do it again if it comes back in there. But there was a buyer there. Not that that means anything. I don't think, you really want to look at the futures, not at these random tools that were built by Invesco and everybody else like that. What we're really looking at is the futures. So maybe there was a buyer over there, but at the end of the day, I don't really care about that. I don't trade off of level 2 for the 4 TQQs. I'll just look at charts. So right there it is. Okay, so now he's gone. See ya. So there we go. Now here comes a downside push. Well, hopefully we can be part of that. We just took a 47. We canceled our 45s, went to 47. So now let's see where we go here on the TQQs. Lower would be nice for me.
Yeah, I just got out break even on QBTS. Like it wasn't going, like you said, it was going quarters, no longer the dollar move. So it gave you the quarter move and then it lost 15. Not moving enough. We're going to stay out of it. As I mentioned, there is still, it's actually smaller now, but early look, Nordstrom's 9 million to sell, right? So you're going to see me in Nordstrom's, and I'll probably be in it. I'll ideally throw it into the auction, like that'll be the idea, but you never really know. If I see it tank even like a little bit, I might just punch out of it and take what we can get. But nothing else is on this early look and bounce locator. Right? Like everything else, like CNQ, that probably doesn't matter. I don't know what ALIT is, so anytime if I see something on the early look for a couple of million, I'm like, okay, well, what is this thing? It's this, it's barcoding, doesn't move. It's a good size, 2 million into 3.6 million, but very, very tight volume. I wouldn't be surprised. Does that look like every day? Yeah, this is probably some kind of a deal. That's probably like another deal. Like maybe it's being bought out or something like that. I should check the list. So Nordstrom's is the one that stands out, but remember, as I said, it's coming out. The deal is closing, which is why we're expecting some kind of a sell. Well, if you're waiting for the trend to break on IBIT, you're still waiting because it's still going higher. Now 106.6 on Bitcoin, 107 is the key level. I say this while chuckling because obviously should never have got out of it. We're still breaking higher. Let's see what other stuff is doing. I just saw Marie in the chat saying MSTR. What is MicroStrategy doing? Probably ripping faces off. Wow, that's a V-shaped recovery. Not through the high of the day, but yeah, MSTR having a bit of a move. I still would take a reversion, but I don't want to take this after 350, and it's 344 here. So it might just be, I might just be in Nordstrom's, which if I see Nordstrom's get larger, I'm adding to that short, obviously. But IBIT's on an absolute tear. Should have held on to the long. We won on the long, but we got like 1/3 of what it should have been. QBTS was okay, but IBIT was like 3 times better if you hold on to that one. So yeah, the regret is not being in the right one longer.
As if Google's doing this now. Falling back down. That's okay. We have a monster on right now, like a literal monster. Hopefully this can come in a little bit more for us. I mean, I'm starting to cover now. Revenge trading, it wasn't, but we went over to the Qs and went short. Was a little frustrated with that move higher there, but thankfully we went right into VWAP. We let this one settle down and get all the way up before we wind up taking shares. And boy, oh boy, Chef Boyardee, did we ever take some shares up there. So that was hopefully going to be a good trade for us. Who knows? I'm already out of half. As we just got filled right there. So we were pretty happy with that one. We can hold for the close, but the thing is you're now 4 minutes away. Neil talked about some of those imbalance actions and things like that. So 4 minutes until those imbalances come, and there it is. Like, look at this move rate higher. So good thing, we literally are out of half. So that was good as we make back a little bit there of what we lost. And it was just that Google short all the way up. And again, kind of sucks to be right back where it is now, but whatever, man. I only got stopped out 20 cents ago. It's not like it's the end of the world on that one. Okay, so UNH, man, we did great on that one today. That is for sure. Let's offer 323. We'll wait to see if these imbalances come out, but I think that would be, again, a pretty decent out if we were able to get that down there or up there at 323. So you just saw some decent size, 6,000 shares sitting there right now at 70s. I mean, it's done 370. There it goes, just waxed it. It's done 38 million shares today. So, whatever's on the bid or the offer probably gets chewed up anyways. A very big option name. Right? I mean, there's a lot of traders. Neil just talked about buying some of this as well. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with UNH.
Seems like everybody's been buying this in their PA.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty easy trade to catch the bottom once you see it, but that bottom could still be there on UNH. So
we could be there tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, it's a tough trade. It's nice when it works, but definitely a tough one. And I think it's worth it, man. I mean, such a storied franchise, UNH. But anyways, I'm not even on anymore. I clicked back over there. I'm going to go to 322 50s. Put an offer there. If it fills, it fills it. We only have a couple more minutes until those imbalances. I was getting a little obsessed there because we just got another fill down below right there. So there it is right there. Another one at that low. We got a 31. We got a 30 fill. Actually, it was 31s, I think. So a nice 31 fill down there. Hopefully these features can come. We played off the 50-period moving average a couple times. There it is right there. There's the break. That's when we should have maybe gone long. There's the move up. So let's go see if that is some kind of support or resistance line there of any line of interest for us. $70.15 or so if we can pull back. But again, we're minutes away from the imbalances. Thanks so much. We're all locked and loaded. We do have our closing show today. It should be great. Recap. We do have Palo Alto, Pan W. We can have a quick look to see what that's doing. Always, I feel like it misses all the time. Last time, although I say that, it was up 2.5%. The implied move on, here, get rid of this. The implied move on Pan, which is Palo Alto today, is 7. So we'll see if we get a 7% move. Oh, I don't have this in my ear. I hear something happening.
He's talking about Palo Alto.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Someone's watching us. Okay, and then we also have Toll Brothers as well. Shout out to my friends at Benzinga. Nice to see you guys. But there's Toll Brothers right here. They're also reporting. Last move down 6% for Toll Brothers. We'll see what this housing developer is all about. I mean, you could see what's been going on in this name. Not good, as we are well away from the 200-period moving average. A 5% move looks like nothing on the chart, but again, up through 110. We'll look to see what happens with Toll Brothers, looking for a big number from them tonight as well, and that's about it. It's pretty much where it ends.
It's been hard for those builders, but with 90 seconds to go, wow. So there's just not going to be a reversion on IBIT. Like the market pulls back, as you can see. Sean's in the Qs, they pull back. Tesla pulled back like $3. I have Apple up. Apple pulled back a little bit, but IBIT just continues to go. So Bitcoin wants that 107. Obviously, it's 349, so I'm not taking that trade anymore. I'm not going to punch short on a reversion trade. At 350, we're going to see the imbalances, and I'll probably make my bet. If I see Nordstrom's and it's much larger, we'll see what we can get out of it. It's going to be ridiculous. Like the bid, I have 67s. The bid at 66 is like 1 million shares. So like at this point, it's like you're just trying to get as many as you can and take the spread or maybe a couple pennies if you can get it. But we'll see what comes out. I would suspect with the volatility we had this afternoon, you might see some of the Mag 7 have some imbalances today. Like we've seen it before. Like NVIDIA will have a few million. If it's your first time watching, then in 30 seconds, the closing auction imbalances are going to come live, and the more volatility you have, the more, I guess we talk about like the higher probability that there will be big imbalances at the end of the day. It doesn't mean it's true. It's just a somewhat reasonable correlation. So keep your eye on things like Tesla, if it pops up, or especially NVIDIA, maybe Apple, Google, because they had the event in about 10 seconds or so. I do suspect this to be big. If you see my Nordstrom position disappear, it's because this S comes out a B.
Yeah.
I'll punch out so far.
You ought to punch out of that one. Okay, so here's a nice little move downside. We get some 30s for the fill on the TQs as we'll wait for that exact number, but here we go right now. I don't see too much on here as far as we're concerned. Right now, Cisco, QBTS, a buy right there into the end of the day. Plug SMCI, a sell. I'm not really seeing anything, so the only thing that I have to worry about right now is the fact that we did get some good outs there on the TQs. We actually got a good out a little bit lower. What was that price right there? 20s. Oh, we got 30s. Sorry, we were bidding 20s and didn't get it. So there it comes, a nice move higher right now into the close. Remember, our stop is just slightly higher than where we're at right now. We're short at $70.57. Up into the 60s is where we're going to get out. It looks like, yeah, see, the market won't. Oh, that's too bad. Too bad it didn't turn the other way for us. That would have been nice. But instead, it's going upside right now as Adara gives us the goods right here. And it is from Adara. 290 to sell. The Nasdaq is nothing. 9 million. Mag 7. 659 million. So not much happening here on the imbalances. So let's take advantage of that and get a little bit more out right now on the TQs.
Yeah, and you take what you can get. It didn't come out bigger. It came out pretty much as expected. I like to leave that up so I can see that, but nothing big. Intel 1.4. If Intel's the biggest thing, then like nothing is happening. So that's a big disappointment in terms of the imbalances. Cisco's going to be in there, but that's less than 1 million shares. Really, QBTS is there for 700,000. I suppose that could be something. I want to see this hold at 9. If it can hold and maybe get larger, then I would just try to add. IBIT, it's going to watch this IBIT party. Not in it, but I think somebody. There were a few people that held this long, right? Like somebody must have held this long. 106.9 we're at on IBIT, which last I checked was pretty darn good. So Bitcoin at 107, almost at 107 at that top. I do feel like it's a little bit top heavy. Remember, this is pretty big resistance on Bitcoin. You know, like this is not nothing up here, that 107 level on the daily. So to expect there not to be sellers, I think would be a little bit weird. So let's see what happens on it, man. Like I'm not going to take the short trade, but it's definitely going to be something. If we fall back too far from here, it gives us a better opportunity to trade into it tomorrow. So the selfish part of me actually wants this to go in the other way. So if we go the other way and hold underneath this level, we get to play into that all-time high maybe tomorrow and not have the lazy breakout happen overnight. 24-hour market, so it's a very distinct possibility. We'll see.
Yeah, we only have a couple of minutes until we maybe get a reversal there in the Qs or in the futures because 355 will hit. All right, let's just do a quick little update right here. 1066, hell yeah. 355 or something was the highest we've seen it. And again, I think that's because Ethereum's not doing much. Ethereum's down 6%, and it's such a big, I mean, it's not a big market cap in comparison. But Ethereum definitely holding that market cap of the whole market down. XRP, so this looks like it's just sort of a one-trick pony right now. Bitcoin up 1.2%. Nothing else really. Tron, like Cardano's down. I always talk about Cardano because it was for some reason listed in that Bitcoin reserve there that Trump was talking about out of nowhere. Solana, I guess, up as well. So that's another one. So Solana, Cardano, XRP was another one listed there. And then, of course, Bitcoin. So we'll wait to see where all of these are dancing around here into the close. And the close is happening right now. So congratulations on anybody that's been riding Bitcoin. I mean, that dip down into 74 or whatever, that turns out to be a good one. But look, many stocks and everything else have doubled, tripled, and everything since those bottoms. Not the Mag 7 names, but, you know, smaller names. We saw Robinhood go from like 40 to 70. I don't even know what Robinhood's going out at right now today. That bottom was 64. Oh, that was pretty good. But now look at that, man. Like a lot of big recoveries. That was $30, sorry, for Robinhood, up to 64. So that's a double on that stock so far as well. But here we go, man. The market is blasting a little bit higher here into the close of the day. What do you got for us, Adara? Only 30 seconds left.
Part of the show is brought to you by Trade the Pool. Trade the Pool is redefining what risk means for traders. That's no more risking your life savings to prove yourself in the market. They give you access to company capital up to $200,000 to trade real stocks, no CFDs, and your downside is limited to a single one-time fee, starting at just $47. That means no blowing up your personal account. You get to trade with serious buying power, and while knowing your loss is capped. All you have to do is pass the evaluation, and that's it. You're funded. Scan the QR code and get 10% off your start with Trade the Pool. Back to you.
No, there isn't.
So a 355 is usually a major pairing event, so you want to see if any of the imbalances are going to flip in there.
I think they did.
No. Intel's a million still.
Like, I'm not getting any love on
Nordstrom's
this
not doing anything. But there weren't any big imbalances outside of Nordstrom's anyways, right? So it's not like you're not seeing anything crazy. Nothing's popped up there. It's not like NVIDIA shows up out of nowhere for a couple million shares. So pretty much a nothing burger. 106.9 on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's gonna get to 107. We didn't come. Luke always had this line. We didn't come all this way to not print it. So go Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure we don't have enough Bitcoin bulls because when we did that poll, which we should do again, because I'm interested to see, like when we did it, it was like 20-something% or 30% of our viewers are actually invested in crypto, which I thought, giving this it's a trading program, I thought would be over 50%. I was wrong about that. Shout out to Coach Hartman. BitX all day. Why BITX? Just out of curiosity.
It's like way higher levered.
Is it a leveraged one? Am I wrong about that? I thought that's not 1-to-1?
I don't know. I mean, it's the same. Yeah, 2 times.
Oh, it is 2x. Okay, that's why. Because it doesn't, it's less volume, but yeah, it is 2 times. That makes sense. I was like, I didn't realize.
That's what I was thinking about MSTR.
I didn't realize it was leverage. MSTR didn't break the highs, and when I looked at it last, which doesn't make, it's only now breaking the highs. That's what doesn't make sense to me. when Bitcoin's doing what you just saw, it's like MSTR should have broken the high like a long time ago. Like, why is it only now getting through the highs? I just feel like the whole point is you're supposed to get more juice, right? Aren't you supposed to get more juice? Isn't it supposed to squeeze the living you-know-what out of people? Like, that's why I just believe in Bitcoin. I appreciate Michael Saylor. If you hold Bitcoin, then why wouldn't you want some dude just buying more of it and over and over and over and over and over again? I think that's fantastic, but yeah, why aren't you getting more juice out of this? You tell me.
Yeah, you would have thought it would have gone up a little bit more than where we are right now. But yeah, still a nice move there for MSTR. And if you're looking at it from here, it's well outpacing Bitcoin right there. So if you look, that's when it dropped out. So we don't have to worry about that. But right there, yeah, nice move upside right now for MSTR. And if you take that Bitcoin bottom was 74 or something, so it's up like 30%, let's just say, maybe less than that. This was 240, you know, all the way up now 420. So
there's 107, by the way.
Much better there on MSTR.
Well, you have it
on the return. Yeah, I have it right here, 107 and change. There she blows.
Unbelievable.
Great job there for everybody that's bought it. We recently bought more at 103, so I'm just getting more and more in, man, every time this dips down. I like Bitcoin. We've talked about that a little bit there as we go. Let's just see. We did get out of some UNH rate here right now because it didn't get up to our levels, so that's a good out for us on UNH, $6.50 or so to end it on the end of the day. Google, we tried to short that thing, didn't. We actually tried long, and then that was nothing. That was a long during the event. And then we shorted the bottom thinking it was going to break, but that was no good. 164, we could check that out tomorrow. And then the futures are just going a little bit higher right now as we shorted up here. It didn't really get anything to the downside. We've been okay on this short, though, for the futures, but I don't know. It doesn't look like it wants to go. We're short right here at 69er. I was going to get out if it breaks 90. I thought maybe a flip up on this might happen, and we may head to the downside, but the futures didn't really do anything at 350. So, and there's not any big earnings coming. Palo Alto's not going to move the needle at all.
But it's still it's a big earnings name, but.
Yeah, not really. Its market cap is pretty small.
No, it's a big name just because a lot of people hold it and think it's best in breed. It's not going to move the market, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
By the way, Palo Alto is about to go. Sorry, check that. Palo Alto has gone green at the end of the day, back to where it was at the open. But with less than 1 minute to go in here, what a big move that you just had. In Bitcoin, which I think dragged some things with it off the bottom. Apple almost got to VWAP. It'll stay red on the day, unfortunately, there for Apple. But yeah, the story right here is the hold. Oh, wait a minute, maybe not. We just went back and forth like 3 times at 107, like up, down at 107, which it looks like works out to about 61 or just underneath the $61 level on IBIT. So let's go over to, well, we got the bell in about 20 seconds, so we're a little bit early on that.
What? Yeah, our bell's automated.
Yeah, the bell's automated. I don't have to hit a button, but we're losing the 107 level. So the reversion at 107, hey, I suppose that was a trade. If you were really, really obscenely, ridiculously patient, you could have waited till it got to 107, shorted that, and made 20 cents. So congratulations if you took that on IBIT. Let's go over to Adara and ring the bell.
All right, that's it, man. We are now closed. It's now 4 o'clock. Thank you for that one, Adara. The Nasdaq actually does okay to end the day, man. Only down 0.38. So what a nice rebound for the Nasdaq, honestly, from top to bottom. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with the Nasdaq right now. 0.42 down right now on that one. So, all right, yeah, we're going to get over there. We're going to see if Pan W prints at all. I'm going to get over there, then figure this all out. But there we go, Pan W, nice little move so far. And yeah, we'll see everybody tomorrow, I guess.
Absolutely. Pan W, there was a heavy candle. It's just a closing print on Pan W, and it was to the downside. So there's your closing print candle. It's going to head down maybe like 30 or 40 cents. They're the only big earnings name, but the big story today is the volatility in the market. The crazy, like Tesla's round trip is one of the most amazing things you'll see. And it's not like it's doing this. It's doing this a lot. Like, this is the kind of market we're in. Like, the kinds, like you say, oh, this move was crazy in IBIT. No, man, like Bitcoin is flying. Bitcoin did this yesterday. Exactly the same move, maybe a little bit more extreme in the afternoon. Shout out to me for stinking and getting out too early. And Tesla, same story, everybody. We're in a volatile market, right? Like Tesla round tripped 355 and 343 twice today. Check that 3 times because 4 times, I guess, if you're really being technical about it. So the volatility is here. It's a fun market to trade. You got to take your shots wherever they happen to lie. But we don't want to forget that Alphabet's event. So the I/O event there for Alphabet, clearly not looking very good for them. They end up closing near the lows, down 1.5%. But we do have some earnings to get to. Palo Alto after the bell is going to be the recap show is going to be hot fire. They're starting to blast to the upside. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to our crew. Great job, of course, Fabian and Andre as always. But you're getting some movement here in Palo Alto. And this and all of the other crazy action this market is giving you will be covered by our market recap show with Adara, with Sean, and hopefully Palo Alto goes up. Why? Because I own it in my long-term account. I'm sure a few other people have it. Also, before we go over there, it looks like Take-Two. Take-Two with an offering, so let's probably head to the downside. I just heard it in my ear. That might be a real wick. That can't be real. Take-Two. Whatever. Let's go to the desk. Looks like Take-Two's going to the downside. Let's go. We got the market recap. Apparently an offering, cratering TTWO, and Palo Alto earnings. It's Sean. It's Adara. Your market recap starts now.
Am I on mute? No, I'm not. I'm live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Yeah, Fabian's like, oh, my God, who's buying out Take-Two? But no, it's opposite. It's an offering. So look at this chart right here for Take-Two going to the downside. What they're trying to do is raise capital for their stock. They might need more money for a certain game. So we'll wait to see now down here into 228. So there goes Take-Two. We are waiting for Pan W to come out. When that does hit, we'll get you that. It doesn't look like it's out yet. So Take-Two Interactive Solutions Software Inc. announces a proposed public offering of common stock. So yeah, that's always going to get hit there. So we'll find out where that common offering is going out. They're trying to raise cash. Looks like they'll get that done in and around 228. Looks like right now for that bid. Wow, UNG was up 8% today. Wow, that name really got going. What's going on with Nat Gas these days? Nice move to the downside for sure. Nat Gas had quite the run. I remember Sharif was talking about that name, and I think it was one of his picks. Or no, it wasn't, but
it was.
UNG. It was, okay. So UNG good, but not great right now. Nate making moves back down to the bottom. What a good day also for gold. We talked about that a little bit earlier on today for GLD. But hey, we talked about some earnings. Home Depot, how did we do today for Home Depot? Let me go into a 3-minute or 1-minute chart. Let's go into a 3-minute chart just to see. It looks like it goes out near the lows. So Home Depot, which was a good report, starts the day off positive, ends the day red. So we'll check if that's a retail situation or not. Walmart was flat to red on the day. Let's see what Costco's doing as well. Okay, Costco, a little bit of an upside move there. So Pan W again, this Palo Alto, we will wait for that. It looks like it is trying to tick a little bit higher. How does this best of breed name? Although some people say CoreWeave is best of breed. I think not CoreWeave, CrowdStrike. Did it again, CRWD. But right there, Palo Alto, nicely done to the upside there. I remember when last time they reported on a Friday and everyone was worried about it, but it wasn't last time, a couple times ago. Nice move up there. I think cybersecurity, as we talk all about AI, as we talk about the world right now, and we had some news there about Ukraine and Russia, potential ceasefire there. We have China always in the picture as well. So definitely Palo Alto, and here's CRWD. I remember buying CrowdStrike on this breach of when they updated their systems there and it didn't work out.
Oh, July 19th, 2024.
Bad rollout. Oh, 2024.
Yep.
Oh, wow, I'm long down here. Okay. Yeah, so
earnings for Palo.
All right, so Palo Alto now moving around. So PANW, it's now out, says Adara. Looks like a lower tick right there. Remember, I always feel like whenever I'm on the show here, PANW always a little lower, and then it starts to get bumped up as people go home. They figure it out. Jim Cramer talks about it, and then they're like, this name needs to do better and be higher. So what do those numbers look like? Right now, it's kind of not moving. We did have a low wick down to 185, which is a decent move. We're looking for 7% on PNW.
Yeah, so I'm seeing right now revenue of $2.3 billion. That's up 15% year over year. The estimates I was seeing ahead of time were $2.27 billion. So it looks like a beat, but I always like to say sometimes the estimates I'm seeing are not going to be the ones that Benzinga ends up going up with. Either way, here right now looks like a beat, and it's up 15% year over year. Their annual recurring revenue from their next generation security, I don't know why I used air quotes, but that's what the segment's called. Next generation security annual recurring revenue up 34% year over year. Remaining performance obligation up 19% year over year. Where are their earnings per share here? So I have their guidance for the next quarter here, so that would be Q4. They're expecting their next generation security ARR to grow by 31 to 32%. They're expecting remaining performance obligations 19 to 20%, and then revenue to grow by 14 to 15%. So they're basically expecting, Sean, pretty much exactly the same growth we got this quarter. They did beat on EPS and sales, though. Earnings of 80 cents per share versus 77 cents expected. Sales beating by a hair, 2.29 billion. I was seeing 2.3 in their report, but maybe that was a rounding situation. 2.29 billion versus estimates of 2.28 billion. So narrow sales beat, EPS beat, and their guidance, in terms of growth, they are guiding growth, but they're guiding the same growth that we got this quarter.
Okay.
Basically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, right now the market does definitely go on future earnings, right, and growth and what we're talking about. So you want to guide forward, that's for sure. And it looks like right now, kind of just a muted response to Palo Alto. Yeah, people saying it looks scary when that wick goes all the way down here. But yeah, it just with scalable, that's why I wanted to push it back into a daily chart. We're just right here. So we're giving back the week. So we're back to where we were last week down there at 187. Any sort of a pushback for CrowdStrike? No, not much. I mean, it's probably a little bit down. Yeah, but CrowdStrike saying, nah, hold my beer, man. We are the ones that are best of breed. And I think that CrowdStrike right now proving that. I'm glad I didn't. I think Neil had rotated out of some CrowdStrike into Palo Alto. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, CrowdStrike nicely cooking to the upside as well. Just hearing a note or seeing a note right now that Rivian will be participating in the UBS Auto and Auto Tech Conference. Wow. Not that means anything, but Rivian off earnings day $13 right here where this big yellow line is. Rivian right now taking out those highs, getting back into this area. I'm still long at 11 and change on this name, thinking about getting some out because I didn't get any out last time. It was up here. If I did, it was small. Rivian, nice move up there for Rivian. Am I missing a story there? I don't think so, right? You don't have to look it up, Adair. I just didn't know if you knew
just
about
today,
anything.
or?
Yeah, just Rivian's been hot fire as of recent.
I mean, they announced like this collaboration with Samsara this morning. I don't think that would have been a big deal. I think just in general, like they've got the Volkswagen partnership. That's on watch. I remember when I started, Sean, Rivian was around like $24, $25.
Yeah.
And that was like September 2023. And I remember thinking it was so good. And then I found out it used to be hundreds of dollars.
Yes,
and I was like, that's less.
We did that with Randy today. Its high was actually 180 Adara when we had that split. When it first came out, then it got bumped up. Ford owned like 11 or 12% of that thing. They got out of it at much higher levels where we are right now. But there's Rivian breaking a little bit higher. 17 and change right now. So this is Rivian today. Nicely cooking, not doing anything in the after hours. But you want to talk about what PanW again?
Guidance.
Okay, so what does the guidance look like? It must be a little bit better, trying to take a little bit higher?
So I did go over their guidance for Q4 in terms of growth. They were expecting the same growth that they got this quarter, but let's go over the actual numbers. They're expecting Q4 adjusted earnings between 87 and 89 cents per share, slightly above estimates of 86. Sales, they're seeing 2.49 bill to 2.51 bill versus estimates of 2.5 bill, so exactly in line with estimates. Much like what we saw with their sales and EPS for this quarter, it's a beat, but just barely. Let's talk about their fiscal 2025 guidance, because that's just for the next quarter. So they actually raised their guidance for the next quarter, raising their adjusted EPS guidance for fiscal 2025 to a range between 326 and 328 per share, above estimates of 322. So that's actually a nice little beat now, and again, above their previous guide. They're raising their fiscal 2025 sales guide to 9.17 bill to 9.19 bill. That is just basically in line with estimates of 9.17 bill. And honestly, all they did here for raising the guidance, they just raised the lower end. The higher end of the guide remains at $9.19 billion. Donald Trump talking about his Golden Dome. It's going to cost $175 billion. Canada wants to be a part of it. And yeah, apparently he actually thinks they're going to get a lot of this bill done before his term ends in 2028. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens there, but it is worth noting. Apparently the bill in Congress will include a $25 billion going towards the Golden Dome. So again, they're expecting total $175 billion, but yeah, just interesting stuff there about this Golden Dome. All right. Keep an eye on Palantir. Keep an eye on RTX. He loves throwing out RTX names in random scenarios. I don't know if you've ever seen this, Sean, but sometimes he'll be like, oh, we'll get RTX to do it, and then RTX pops.
That's what I was doing right now.
He really loves randomly invoking RTX, so keep an eye on RTX.
All right.
Thank you to David Tresgak for the $10 super chat. Let's go Padres. That's baseball, right? I'm in the Sweets visitor side tonight, friends. I'm bad luck for my team, so Jays may win. Thank you very much for the super chat, David.
Oh, are they at home or not, the Padres and the Jays? If you're in Toronto, I didn't know David was, maybe he's in California. There was San Diego. That's the Padres. But yeah, I just want to look here. LMT, a nice little bump up here as we get talking about it. You said RTX possible bumping up as well. Yeah, not much happening with Raytheon. Wait a minute. Raytheon is RTX, isn't it? RTX, yeah, defense company. Okay, it just says RTX Corporation. I guess they changed their name. I should know that. And LMT, sometimes maybe Boeing a little bit, but nothing's going on for that. It would be great if Canada could be part of that as, yeah, the more protection, the better right now. So, I just wanted to show this. Shout out to my lovely wife. Oh, wow, that's a big picture. How do I stream this? This is what's on our frying pan right now. This is a big, sort of a big skillet, I guess. You love sweet new potatoes?
I like a potato. I just like a brown potato.
Right. Yeah. These little new potatoes, you cut them up like this, you can fry them up. They're absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of olive oil on them.
Olive oil and balsamic vinegar.
Yeah. Okay. So that's basically what's going to be happening.
It's
right
the
here.
Italian side of me coming.
Yeah, and there's exactly. Here's the Italian red pepper side, and then
nice.
Don't show this to Neil. He hates broccoli.
Does he?
Neil has a lot of issues, but that broccoli one is one that I'm going to fix with him tomorrow. Hopefully, when he gets over to Budapest, they have lots of broccoli there for him. But no, that's his least favorite veggie.
Oh, I see.
You know, I've been hanging out with this guy. We went to high school together. So if you know someone's favorite or least favorite vegetables, maybe you are a little bit too close. Okay, so gold today, what a nice move, man. Again, it bouncing really nicely to that upside. As you talked about the US dollar a little bit, do we have something else? Is Toll Brothers out?
No, it's not Toll Brothers. It's actually Elon Musk back on CNBC.
Oh, no.
Once again, wearing an interesting little race jacket. Thank you, people in the chat, for making me aware of this. So I'll put up NVIDIA and AMD here.
May not be live.
Apparently... they're saying this is a new interview. They said, as I was going to do the bell, they said more Elon live. So I'm guessing it's more Elon, or they're playing different parts of the interview than they did before, is my guess, based on how they frame that. But either way, he's making some comments here apparently about their AI needs. Apparently GPUs for AI training. So NVIDIA on watch, AMD apparently also on watch. Thank you guys for letting me know in the chat. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. But either way, it looks like, based on what I saw on the CNBC headline when it went to ring the bell, it's either new Elon or Elon we did not see earlier. Either way, Elon. And I'm going to stop saying Elon.
All right, that's a lot of Elon. Right there. Right. We traded Elon today real well, man. We traded Tesla. Tesla breaks early, man. What a great trade that was early on that 350 break. It was monstrous up to 355. We're always thinking higher, like what Neil was saying, man, that one day it's going to go to 360, but we took 355. That was pretty good. And I should have logged into my trading account to show you all the ins and outs. We actually did take that. So we busted that long, then we tried it again. We got stopped out, comes right into the 200 period moving average. Now that I see this on a 3-minute chart, how golden is that? I use it on a 5-minute chart, but that held beautifully. This is the problem with the market, is these wicks. I don't know how much you can see these. Maybe I'll try to zoom in. Move over, not working. These little zooms right there, 342, maybe it doesn't zoom like that. 342 bottom, looks like we're trying to hold that, but now we're going lower, Adair. So I don't know what he's speaking about right now live, but it looks like we're gonna take near that low of the day on Tesla. What funny that we go up to 355 and then just fall in. This is almost to the minute, because I was watching it because I was in this trade. We were in it to the long side again, getting out. Then we tried it here, lost, and tried it again down here. And I think might have made some money at that last attempt, but Tesla going a little bit lower. Hey, look, how many times in a row are we going to see this 350 before eventually it either rips or it comes right back into this 300 level? So I'm a little nervous that we're not taking it out. Elon did say, though, on his first interview that we were on track for robo-taxis later on this year. Thing about that was it sent Uber down. So here we go. I mean, again, we can almost line up these charts back to back as well. That was pretty cool how that ad went like that there, Fabian. They're the easy trading computers. But there it is right now. Look at that move to the downside right there on Uber. But Elon was also saying that there's going to be many companies involved in this trade with them and robo-taxis. So we'll have to wait to see if Uber wants to hold those highs. I really love this stock again, but I am getting those Starbucks feels. And what I mean by that, if we go over to Starbucks, is look at how far away Starbucks was from the 50 period moving average, and more importantly, the 200 period. It just came screaming back in. And again, obviously off tariffs, but this happened way before. This was March. That's the beginning of March. We started falling in, and then tariffs happened right here for Starbucks, and then not a great earnings report, trying to get that garbage out of here. I really like it if we break out through this 88 mark right there at the 50 period moving average for Starbucks. So again, just looking over some notes. What else did we have reporting? We had
Toll Brothers at 4:30.
Toll Brothers is out. Are they out yet?
4:30.
4:30. So that's not for a while. Qatar gave a big boost again into Tesla recently, into Nvidia, and into some of those chip names. But that's all kind of done with right now. We waited. Palantir came out with a new deal today with Divergent, but that didn't really do too much. If anything, it diverted to the lows of the day there as we go out near the lows for Palantir. We also traded this one pretty decently. Wait for it to bottom out early. That's why we're going to be a little more patient tomorrow. We wrote down 126 on our sticky note for Palantir. It does end the day lower than that, but spends most of its day in and around 26. I think if we put a VWAP, we would be in and around that as well. Nice to see our boy XBI battling back a little bit. I recently actually put more money into Eli Lilly than I did on XBI in this most recent tranche of mine, going in there buying, but nice move up for XBI. We had bought some of this down into here when it was low into the tariff, but again, XBI and IBB, healthcare, so biotech ETF, nice move there. Upside for this. I don't know what Eli Lilly did. I'm in at 350, so it's doing nothing off my most recent buy. So Eli Lilly, again, buying more if we ever get down near 700. Most recently there at 350. Again, I like what's going on there. Their drug outpacing NVO. Novo Nordisk, again, a little opposite of Eli Lilly. Novo Nordisk has seen better days, man. This right here is 140 down to $68, chopped in half. Right there from last September.
And you know what happened to their CEO, right? He's not there anymore. He had to leave.
Novo Nordisk.
Yeah, because things were too wild.
Too much competition he thought about.
Yeah, it was just bad, and it was not looking good. And they're not even the top company in Europe anymore. They got unseated by SAP pretty recently. And they were doing quite, I remember like when they were at all-time highs, I remember trading them at all-time highs. And then, yeah, that chart is a beaut.
Great one, SAP.
Novo Nordisk has lost some weight and maybe is overdosing on that.
Yeah, it might be again. This SAP, of course, is software. Good joke there. Of course, software name here for SAP, so completely different than Miss Lilly, as you like to call it. But changed since January. 21% for SAP. We actually had that report today, and I think it must be true, right? Or else why else would we be talking about it? That we just went back. So change since January. We have it on here for the year. The Nasdaq's still up 1.6%. That may not include what happened today. So roughly flat, up 1% on the Nasdaq year to date. SPY year to date. Where is it there? 1% as well. The Dow is the name that look, I mean, I've been buying the Qs and the S&P, but I do like the Dow. That is flat as well. 0.28 again. And most of that, not most of it, we can talk about it. Dara has some good infographics out about this, but UNH and the Dow, UNH just continues to make moves lower. I mean, it's even making a lower move here. It was a good move today, but I'm just talking about in the after hours, 320. We got out right there at 322 or so. We had this bottom at 315 on the sticky note today, so that was a banger of a trade. I always feel like you want to try to find some bottoms, and how did we find that on UNH? Well, we just kind of went back to yesterday's close, which is right here.
Golden Dome News, LHX.
Oh, LHX.
Yeah, so LHX also, to be clear, L3 Harris, they have a Palantir partnership, so that is worth noting. Apparently, Senator Banks saying that L3 Harris will work on Golden Dome. Now, as I mentioned, the Trump administration and people associated with it do like to throw out names of contractors that could or could not work on projects. We know that happened with the air traffic control reboot that they want to do, where we had Trump say, oh, maybe RTX will do it, maybe IBM will do it, and then both stocks flew. So I don't know if this is confirmed, but Senator Banks at least saying L3 Harris will work on the Golden Dome. L3 Harris, again, could be on watch here with Palantir because they do have a partnership. And I was reading this thing as well based on, I think they analyzed based on Venmo, I guess Venmo friends or Venmo contacts or whatever. But Pete Hegseth, who was the U.S. Secretary of Defense, he has buddies in Palantir. So, like, Palantir and L3 Harris, LHX, definitely on watch here. I think it's an interesting look.
Yeah, I mean, L3 Harris doing pretty good here. Again, you got to get some money into these defense names. I mean, we know it's going to be a wild 3 years here for sure. So nice move there. I actually was asking, this is why Neil and I were talking about this. I was like, which names are going to benefit from this dome? And you can see right there, dome. 136 and change right there, breaking through the highs for RTX, now up to 138 and looking like it wants to print a little bit higher as well here in the after hours. So RTX, LHX, and then the other one was LMT. We could see something going on with Lockheed Martin as well. Daily chart, much worse for them as they're getting to the downside there. So again, this show, we do scan through Benzinga.
We do.
We had the Benzinga Pro Rate. Oh yeah, live on CNBC right now. Elon Musk says no plans to merge Tesla with XAI. So, all right, so we can check out to see if anything's happening right there at all. You know, it was a good day here. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. Look, Raywood, Neil, and I left the show. We were busting out through 107. It looks like it's very, very similar. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. Oh boy, about 15 minutes ago, look at that. So there's a lot of volume once we start breaking highs. So that to me is a great sign. We like to see those kind of candles helping out the move get higher. There has to be interest when new highs are met, right? Again, the high on Bitcoin, 1093, 1094, depending on your platform, but breaking out through recent highs right there, taking this out. We can go over to a daily chart now on BTC and just see, we're getting, I wish I could get, how do I get rid of all this stuff?
They just mentioned Lily.
Right there. So there it is right there. 1095. We'll like to see if we can break through on Bitcoin. Congratulations, man. I recently bought this dip right into there. Feel a little silly buying it at 103, but hey, we did get a little bit more in and happy to do that. As we can see right now, current Bitcoin price, 106.97 right now. You did say there was Eli Lilly news?
Yeah, they just had someone here in this Trump room saying that, oh, Eli Lilly's moving all its manufacturing to the U.S. It's not really moving on that, but there was a time where that actually was said, and then Eli Lilly jumped like $10. So even though we know that they're moving their manufacturing to the U.S., we know that the executives, including CEO David Ricks of Eli Lilly, have met with Donald Trump. But either way, sometimes I find when it gets mentioned, Lilly likes to make a little move. So keep an eye on Mademoiselle here, LLY. Also, Donald Trump said, a year ago we were as cold as ice. Now America is the hottest country. So interesting, just a funny little comment there. Keep an eye on LLY, LHX, keep an eye on all these defense plays. A lot has been happening from our friend Donald Trump and his pals.
I mean, if we look, United States, I mean, look, I like that little trumpet there. So much winning happening, so much winning. Look, I mean, I love the fact that Donald Trump says all the action and United States is where it's at. It is. I mean, all the money, the world's largest markets, but Europe is outperforming, so is the UK, so is Canada, the TSX there in the stock market as compared year to date on the US market. So there is some catch-up plays happening, and also great rebound for the US markets. I mean, the fact that they're flat right now on the year definitely means something, and higher highs. Oh, there it is.
We can't take it anymore. Mr. President,
Fabian, you're so good, man. I call this up and you immediately have this ready.
we have to keep winning. We have to win more.
I like the shaking of the hand.
Yeah, I'm doing it with them there, you know, little mini Donald there on the chest. But, okay, look, today there was some winning, but more of the winning not in your Mag 7, right? And some of the technology today, not the greatest. Meta down, Google down. We didn't even talk about Google I.O., and we're almost running out of time right now. Maybe we can go over that in a minute. But Apple down 1%, NVIDIA down 1%, Google down the most, 1.5%. A name that I really like, IBM, International Business Machines, Adara, down 0.5% as well with Palantir. Some of the winners over here, the consumer non-durables, let's blow that up right now. Procter, Philip Morris going upside. Nike, a nice move today as well, man. Kenvue. There's my boy Lululemon, up 1.07% today as well, trying to catch a bid on that one. You, my boy Blue. You know where that's from?
I feel like I should.
Yeah, it's old school. You should know that, but that's okay. Old school is more of a. You seen that movie, Will Ferrell?
No, that's not really my cup of
school,
soup.
Vince Vaughn.
I don't like.
You don't like it? It's a great comedy.
I like some comedies. Okay, my favorite is like, you know, The Other Guys.
Yes, well then you'll like it.
I like The Other Guys. I need to
with
see
Mark
that
Wahlberg,
one.
Other Guys.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, and then you've got that awesome cameo. Also, Ice-T of Law and Order narrates the movie for some reason. The Other Guys is great. I need to watch Old School then. I've never seen
watch Old School. It's a great movie there. You'll really enjoy that one. Amazon also down for the retail trade. Amazon down 1% today. Costco looks like one of the only green spots here today in the retail sector, up 0.24. We sort of already covered that a little bit as well. I really like Visa, man. Visa's chart's been really hot fire, going out near the highs, all-time highs for Visa again today, despite being down slightly, 0.3%. Visa, a great stock. We talked about Visa for a while. I really like that name. That is for sure. But yeah, this is a sort of a quick little look. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Boeing, another name that's been doing really well lately. Boeing up 1+% today, kicking it old school there. Boeing, GE Vernova, I talked to Neil about this. This was, talk about a dip by opportunity, man. 270 there. Someone's got to power everything. GE Vernova right there, a nice move upside right there again. The storage of electricity, taking out highs. Wow, what a great call GE Vernova is. I have some of this from the spinoff, but never bought more money, never put more money into that. JP Morgan, nice trade on the bank side as well today. XLF was actually down on the day, but that's enough going through all of that. We can have a quick look at some of the sectors as we go, but let's have a quick little look just quickly on Palo Alto. Again, best of breed, Palo Alto and CrowdStrike are kind of going back and forth. Let's see what they're doing after hours. Yeah, still some downside push, 187. So 187 right now for Pan W Palo Alto, just kicking right back into here. So we'll see. A downward slope would get us into 181, which would be nice. That's the 200-period moving average. You could see, though, a nice little smiley face on your 50-period moving average. That's definitely a buyer, a name that we should be buying. Eli Lilly, just checking to see if there was any action after hours as Adara's brought that name to our attention. Then there was what? LHX.
We have action on AMD.
Was the big one as well. There's not too many tickers actually flying away here in the after hours. So just to look at what happened today, gold, uranium, nice upside move. FXI leading the way today, up 1.1% as well. FXI going out near the highs. You said there was some, whoa, yeah, so there is AMD, a little bit of action on AMD. What's up with that?
So I mentioned this earlier and the stock didn't really move on it, but I think as this storyline has been kind of ferreted around X, I think it's gotten more attention. Elon Musk during his after hours interview talked a lot about chips. He said that Tesla is going to continue buying GPUs, or a lot of GPUs, quote unquote, from NVIDIA, AMD, and, quote, maybe a few others. So AMD and NVIDIA are the beneficiaries of this story, but NVIDIA actually got another Elon Musk pump.
Yeah, let's
Musk
go.
further said that he is going to be apparently deploying 1 million NVIDIA Blackwell chips at his XAI facility. So he's going to be getting chips for Tesla, that's going to be NVIDIA, AMD, and maybe a few others. And he's going to be getting some Blackwells for his new XAI facility. He also said that it's not out of the question to consider merging Tesla and XAI, but they need shareholder approval. One more Elon Musk headline, if I may. I almost said Musk. Sorry, Sean. I'm tired. Elon Musk apparently said that he's going to be at the White House every couple of days for the next every few weeks. So that sounds like he's still going to be at the White House quite a lot.
Same, yeah.
Yeah.
You said he's going to be buying what? A 1 million?
A million. He said 1 million. That's pretty casual. I'm guessing probably around 1 million.
H100s
no,
or
Blackwells for
you know how much
XAI, and then just a lot
how
of
much is a Blackwell chip?
For that'll be for Tesla. So he's getting the higher end ones and much more of them for XAI because he said they can build better than we can. That's what he said. And then for Tesla, he just wants NVIDIA and AMD. I mentioned this story earlier. The stock was not moving at the time, but now it is moving at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see how much a Blackwell chip actually costs. Right there, 40. So again, depending on which unit you're talking about, the B200 is $40,000. The GB200 is here. I just asked ChatGPT. I mean, I will show you. I didn't try to do anything too crazy there. So 40,000, between 40,000 and 70,000 right there per chip. And this guy's doing 1 million chips times 70,000. Obviously, I hope you're getting a discount there when you buy in bulk. But yeah, that should be like, again, when is this going to stop? When are the revenue streams going to stop for NVIDIA? I mean, that's another great look for them. I'm surprised they're not up a lot more. Tesla not really doing anything on that kind of news. All right, we got to go. It's almost 4:30 right now. Oil downside today, not doing great there. But the XLE's been on a nice little bit of a run. We didn't really clear the 50-period moving average. United States Oil, OIH, also a downside as well today. So that's down 1%. So sort of as far as the negative sectors are today, led definitely by energy. TLT, again, the Treasury near the lows as well. As the market tries to rebound, Treasury's not doing great right now in this environment. We talked about the US dollar. That's UUP. UUP. We can look at UUP, which is bullish US dollar strength. And right now, can't be that bullish if you're under the 50 period and the 200. What a move for the US dollar that we've seen over the last 6 months or so. Yeah, today was actually a pretty good day, considering the fact that the Nasdaq was roughly flat there, down 0.4. Diamonds and SPY a little bit better than that, 0.37 and flat respectively. So hey, what a great day it has been here today. Moving forward, we'll see what winds up happening tomorrow. Not too many huge earnings that are going to really, influence us tomorrow morning.
Not really.
But as Trump keeps on speaking and truthing out things, maybe we get a little bit more of a run. It should be an NVIDIA kind of a day. That is for sure. Okay, this is, Adara, the most recent movie you watched.
Oh my God.
I don't have
Moonlight.
Moonlight. I have no idea what
Moonlight.
I have no idea what that is.
What about you?
What is Moonlight?
Oh, it won Best Picture in 2016. It's mostly known for that La La Land kerfuffle where they accidentally said La La Land. The guys did their speeches, and they were like, "Oops, wrong movie." But yeah, it's a good movie. I like it.
I think for me is honestly, I think it's the Minecraft movie.
That's fair.
We went to see it on its the one in theater. We went to see that on its release date, and I don't think I've seen a movie since.
Yeah, I saw this. Someone showed me the anime movie Your Name, which was pretty good as well. I really liked it. I was like not expecting
Your
it to be
Name.
as
Is
good
it a
as it was.
kids movie or not really?
No, but it's solid. Yeah, it's good.
And then we're starting to watch a show on Netflix that I thought was pretty good. Steve Carell, Tina Fey, a bunch. It's called 4 Seasons.
Okay, I like that cast.
And it's just, and it's only 30 minutes.
What's it about?
It's 3 couples so far. I'm only in episode 2. But they get together, they're traveling, they go to Steve Carell's house, and stuff happens.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Good. I like Steve Carell.
Pretty innocent so far. The language is fine. There's nothing too crazy about it. There's a gay couple in there. It's really good. It's really good. Really fun so far. Yeah, good one. All right, called 4 Seasons on Netflix. Netflix continues to, make huge moves to the upside.
Oh yeah.
In this market, Netflix
$1,200?
Taking out days highs or all-time highs every time it seems like. Okay, we'll see everybody. For Adara, I'm Sean. Thanks Fabian for staying late. Thanks Neil, Brendan, Bears versus Bulls, all of you. It's now a little bit past 4:30. It's volleyball tonight. It's baseball and it's basketball. It's a busy night in our house. I hope it's busy wherever you are. Give your loved ones a big hug, and we will see you tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao. You found the best trading show on the planet. So what are you going to do now? Simple. Hit the like, subscribe, and share it. It's Trader TV Live. We're here, baby.